See, so, Darren, how is your immune system today? Happy Sunday, happy Monday over here in the Philippines. It's J. Mike and Darren Dobson.
Seems to be good. I don't no cold, no cough.
I got
Everything's
the
good.
I got the sniffles today, but yep, today's small YouTubers come on in. We're gonna get started on the some of the mistakes that's new, small and new YouTubers and young YouTubers, whatever, old and young alike. People trying to figure out how to get started. How do I get started? 2 years on YouTube, and I'm trying to get started myself, Darren. I
I'm
don't
getting
think
ready. I'm
I
figuring
don't
to
think
listen to it. Want to
my
figure out
mic was
more.
2 years on YouTube, and I'm
Trott.
still one of those people trying to get started. Come on in, small you, Brad Nino, Mega Love shout out. Darren Dobson has an upcoming live stream right there. We'll get more of that later, Darren. All right, Team Happy
Yeah,
popping in. Good to see you guys.
that was
Good to see
earlier
you.
on where there's nothing left, so I dropped that. I actually, I should have did that yesterday, but I was so tired. I forgot to set it, so I set it this morning.
I do that because I'm not certain that I want to do a live stream, so I leave it open, and then I decide at the last
Oh,
minute I want to set a live stream up ahead of time, one day in advance or something.
yeah. There's all our good friends. Pia's here. Cookie Boom. Brad,
Uh,
of course. Mega love shout out.
hello, hello to everyone trickling in. I don't know
We
if
got
my opening few seconds had any volume on the mic.
and
I
Team
just tubbed
Happy.
my
Are ya?
just stubbed my toe under the desk. I got bare feet. Hard to wear
Ooh.
shoes all the time indoors around here.
You
Oh,
don't
that
really
hurts.
need shoes. Do you? Indoors, you don't really need shoes. You can let your air
Not usually. I
air out.
usually we kick off the flip flops at the door and we come in barefoot. Usually, that's usually what we do.
Yeah, I
Um,
noticed what it is. 2:51 a.m. here.
so
Being session ahead. Yes, Pia. Pia, let me see if it's 2, 9, 10, 11, 12,
yeah, I am getting a little bit of a
6 hours.
cold.
6 hours is like somewhere in Europe, UK, Europe, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
UK
yeah.
is
The
five
Middle
hours,
East,
I think.
the Middle East, I think, is 6 hours behind us.
I think there's 7 or 8 for me. But with the time change, it's hard to figure out what the time is there because they don't bring
Look,
back,
I'll tell you right now.
go back. I don't
I'll, I'll tell you right now, Darren. It is right now. The world clock
And the
going over
World
here.
Cup is
There's
in
my world
Qatar.
clock right there. It's 2:52 a.m. in Oslo, Norway. So that would be seven hours behind us, right? So who's 6 hours behind us? It
Hi,
would be
Chef.
London is 8 hours behind me. So
Hi, Oracles.
Doha, Qatar is 5 hours behind us, and Dubai would be 4 hours behind us. I don't know who's six. What time would that be? It would be 2:52 a.m. Well, I don't have anybody at that. Now Honolulu is 3:52 p.m.
Ah, yes, yes,
So the
yes.
closest to that would be 5 hour difference would be Doha, Qatar. So maybe India. We have a lot of Indian friends, right?
I have a lot of Indian friends too, Jay. They're
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
used to be Philippines number one. Then eventually U.S. came up, and now it's Philippines and U.S. and now it's Philippines, U.S. and India. Those
We
are my
all
three
have
biggest.
a lot of friends in India. Let me just shrink my map here a little bit. Oh, all right, here we go.
I've never been to India, but I am going to the Philippines in January.
So I'm looking for Qatar. Some call it Qatar.
Yes,
I don't see it. Oh wait, I got to zoom in.
it's a small peninsula,
Oh,
and it's
there's
very
Qatar.
remote.
It's right on the Persian Gulf. So
Yeah.
it would be somewhere around Dubai is
Yes, it's near the United Arab Emirates.
Dubai is later, so we need another hour. So I would think Pakistan or India, maybe, or maybe Iran,
Yeah.
or if you want to go north, you would be up by Ukraine, maybe. You know what
That's
I could do?
way more.
Let me let me try.
I'd like to go to the Philippines. Yes, I'm looking
What's
forward to the Philippines. Jay says when I go, I won't want to leave, so we'll see.
So we're going to try New Delhi, right? That's in India.
It is.
See what time it is. It's 7:24 a.m. in New Delhi. Oh, that's funny. There's only a 2 hour difference. Oh, they're closer to me. Yeah, that's okay. So UAE. Let's do
Yeah.
that's Dubai time, I think. Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
Let's check it. Let's try Abu Dhabi. There it is, Abu Dhabi, right here. 5:55 a.m.
There you go.
So that's a 4 hour difference. So I don't know what to tell you guys. It's somewhere in between Abu Dhabi and Saudi Arabia. Let's
Yeah.
try Riyadh. Riyadh has a funny spelling. It's where am I? I lost. Oh, R-I. Y. R-I-Y. Oh, R-I-Y. Okay. 4:55 a.m. I don't know anybody with a 6 hour difference. Oh, it must be further west, like Lebanon or something, or Israel. Zoomed in too much. Or Moscow. Let's try
Hi,
Moscow.
Shanae and SK. Hi.
Moscow is 4:50. Yeah, I don't know where the heck they are. They might be in like Sweden or something. Stockholm, Sweden. Let's try Stockholm.
Pia, where are you? Pia, where are you located now?
2:56 a.m. There's your 7 hour difference right there. Stockholm, Sweden.
There you
Finland
go.
might be an hour away. I'm not sure. Or Belarus. Ukraine. All right, that's all. That's all. I'm going to have too many cities on my world clock. All right, let's get into it, guys. How are you all doing? So it's small YouTubers grow here. I added something on. More common mistakes that we make on YouTube. We're all in this together, guys. I make mistakes too. I'm still trying to figure out what to do next. And most of us are doing videos. Number one, avatars. Your avatar, Darren, is the red maple leaf is your avatar,
Mhm.
and it says Canada. It doesn't say Darren Dobson, it says Canada. That may or may not be your downfall. Now, you're searchable. Everybody knows that's you. Well, the people who know you know that's you. The people who don't know you don't know that's you. But they don't know me either. Um, so my avatar is myself, um, with the big old country grin. I'm sitting next to my mother in that picture, but I
That's a good picture, Jay. I wouldn't switch it.
yeah.
For mine, everybody knows that symbol. So even though my name is my channel, it's probably not the best avatar that I have, but everybody knows it now, and it's really promoting Canada. And so Darren Dobbs from Canada, Darren Dobbs from Canada. So I don't think it's a good idea for me to switch, but I
I
don't.
don't know. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I know that it's identifiable to us that know you.
Correct.
I'm not saying it's good or bad. I don't know if mine's good or bad, but I have it, and that's my avatar, and I'm sticking with
Well,
it
me
as
too.
you are. So number two. So there's 5 things here on this list here. And there's 7 or 10 more on my other list right over there that I have on the left,
Wow.
to my left. Now number 2 is research. I've mentioned this before. I'm guilty too. Sometimes I do a little bit of research and I need a lot, or I totally skip it. Because sometimes I do a spur of the moment video, but what I should do is a voiceover after I do more research. They say you should do your research before you go get video footage. A lot of us have these cameras; they're easy to use. We go places and we get videos, and then we upload it, and then hey, watch my video. I used to do that. I did that at first. Hey, it's cool. I got 100 views. I got 10, 12, 13, 14 thumbs up. That's awesome. I just got my 24th and 25th subscriber. This is fantastic. I love this stuff. I love YouTube. That's who I was back in the very beginning. I wasn't even trying to grow, and then all of a sudden, when I did, then I got another 200 subscribers, and then 2 more hundred, and I'm like, this is fantastic. when can I get to 1,000? And then it started to slow down. The harder you try, the more it slows down because we're making mistakes. Well, the other thing is you can only subscribe once to me, and I can only subscribe once to you.
Yeah. I
Somebody
only
with a big channel, someone with a big channel, I give them a few super chats. That's because that's how I saw people grow. When I wasn't growing as fast, I thought because they're giving bigger super chats, they're sponsoring and stuff like that, diamond members, whatever they want to call it. And I thought, okay, I'll give a couple of like that. And if they're a big enough channel, they flex you like you're flexing right now. So he put that my channel like that, like you have up there right now. He put it on the background of the entire live stream, and he said, "Connect with J Mike right now, guys. Connect. My connect with my brother J Mike." Yeah, he did that a few times, and then I got some subscribers that way.
I halfway.
But
And yeah, I gotta do that too.
he instructed them to watch my latest video. It didn't matter how good that video was. He told people to watch it. Watch that video. The average was like 2 minutes. We keep saying 3 minutes, but the average view on some of my higher watched videos is 2 minutes. Except for that big one that got me monetized. That average was 32 minutes.
That is
For
great.
like 1,000 viewers for 32 minutes. There's that's no, wait a minute. I'm I'm forgetting the number, the math there because it's been a while since that happened. Um, it was more than it was more than 1,000, almost 2,000 views for 32 minutes. So almost 1,000 watch hours right there. That's what it was. So how easily I forget. Cookie Bomb is here. Mega love shout out. PLE. Do a couple of shout outs. Isa Sanyadan, new team happy. Brad Nino's hanging out. Good to see you, Brad. Good to see you. I'm not going to go there, Darren, with that conversation that we had. That wasn't my conversation. I was just trying to make some points about what I understand about charity. I wasn't making any judgments yesterday. I know some of the largest. I did a video about that. I said that some of the largest charities have the highest overhead, and so there's a small trickle down that actually goes to the charity, and people still give money, so they think it's worthwhile. People just think it's worth, no matter how little they get. I'll do that because they do good. I don't know. I don't judge that way. I judge by what I'm doing with my money. That's what I judge.
Judge
I
where
was
small.
happy. I was happy to give to the firemen's fund and the policeman's fund and all that. The union, the police unions, and then the federal police union, and then the national police union, and then they always call back because they're professional. What do you call that?
Fundraising.
Fundraisers.
Yeah.
They hire people that know how to do that, and they get right to your heartstrings. And I'm like, okay, well, it's a good cause. And then I thought, well, you know what? I have other causes that I need to take care of, and that's what I did.
Which
And
is
so I
number
just
one is you and your family, and then try
family.
and
Yeah,
expand from there.
yeah. So and according to my budget. So I can't budget rent money or mortgage money out to all these police and fire unions. I can't do that because they make money themselves. So I have to take care of what I need to take care of. So I can't judge. I don't judge them. That's their life and their right. I'm not. It's not up to me to judge them. I can just make decisions for myself. Um, Thank you guys. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. So, avatars is the first thing you gotta build. Some avatars I see and I shrug and I wonder why. I'm trying to be funny about this because I'm not on top. No, people with 1 million subscribers talk about this. They're not on top either, but they're a little bit ahead of everybody else that are asking questions. So they know a little something. Number two, research. We need to find, and I mentioned this before. Um, we need to find out who our subscribers are, the people that know who we are. Not necessarily, they're not all your best friends, but they're associated. They kind of know who you are. You need to know what they will like to see, because if that happens, you make a video based on what they watch, they're going to get a thumbnail. The algorithms are going to realize that quickly and give them an impression on their in their bucket, that on their main homepage for YouTube, and it's gonna be one of their suggested videos.
Uh-huh.
And if now the next thing they're going to look at is an avatar. Is that going to make me think, hey, what's that? I want to see that. I always click. I didn't realize this for a long time, but now I'm realizing it. I click on an avatar. I see that first before I look at what the title is, and I see an avatar. I'm like, that seems like a good video to watch. Let me see what the name of that video is, and and it's always different from the avatar, but it's related. It's not. It's never the same words, but it's related. And I think, okay, they got me. I'm going to check this out. And if it's a 10 or 20 minute video, I might watch the whole video
Wow.
because they got me interested in what that's going to be. So now they're not done yet. They know what. No, they don't know what I want to see, but the algorithm does. So, but they did their research and they know that people like to see those types of videos because I already like to see that type of video. The algorithm knows that I'm connected to them by giving me an impression because I watch and give thumbs up to those kind of videos. But I don't just give I give thumbs up to everybody. But it doesn't mean I watch the whole video. So
Right.
the algorithm knows when if I watch 99% of a video, and maybe I don't watch them finish saying goodbye, right? So because I know when they're a good video, when they start to say goodbye, they're not going to continue talking. If you do that, that's you're kind of wasting your time on that, guys. If your video is getting near the end and then you spend the last 2 or 3 minutes saying goodbye, please like the channel. Don't forget to comment. Eh, you know, no, there's no need to keep dwelling on that thought. But so the algorithm does the work for you by finding people that watch the types of videos that you just made. Um, and then also research your own video and see what other videos with a similar content and title, see what kind of views they get. Now, that's your competition, but that doesn't mean that nobody will watch your video. If you have an attractive thumbnail that says, watch me, I've seen videos where the thumbnail says, "Don't watch this," and then there's a pretty girl putting her hands over her eyes. Don't watch this video, and she has a nice figure and she looks kind of cute. You can't tell because she's blocking her eyes, so you don't really know exactly who she is. But it's to the average guy, it looks like an attractive girl because she has a summertime top on and long blonde hair, and the average women will watch that. If it says "Don't watch this," women might watch it because I did that in a different social media group a few years ago. I said, women, if the women in this room, don't watch this video. And the girls are the ones that commented on it. And I don't know, I can't remember what the guys did, but the guys watched it too because guys will watch videos with a thumbnail picture of a girl. If a girl's doing this, the guys are going to watch that, but women will too. If you don't want, to the women, don't watch this. Women are not allowed to watch this video. They'll watch it. So that's just a silly idea I had. But research what other videos that are common to what you're making for a video that match your title in your description of your video and see what kind of views they get.
Right.
So
Ah,
I did a video how to tie a necktie or how to cut your own hair. Somebody did the same thing. He had 4 million views. Somebody
there's
else
a
did it. He
rage.
had 50.
A rage.
He had 50,000 views. I did it. I only had like 500 views. But it is what it is because I didn't do everything the right way. That's why. So but some of them did watch it. Some people will watch that. What's that? So that's
Uh,
research. You really got to research what type of video you're making and see what's happening on YouTube about that. Sometimes I
I,
do it and sometimes I don't.
thank you for the raid, Chick Fil USA T1 Love.
Yeah, they're still
Thank you for
guys. Whenever I stop the chat, it happens. People come in and I don't see you. Sean Williams, Larissa, Mirna, Gloria, Greggy, Cano. That is team. Is that Team One Love? Did you say?
Yeah, T1 Love and Chick Fil
Chick
USA.
Panay. Chick Panay. Yeah.
Thank you so
They're live.
much for the raid.
thank you, 50 Cent. Yeah, check it out. Yeah, awesome. Connect with XX 50 Cent 17XX, guys. That's a long name. I ran out of breath saying that. XX 50 Cent 17XX. That makes me think that his channel is not for kids.
Yeah, thank you so
Because
much, Myrna.
when I see XX and then I see it again, that kind of tells me
God
that
bless.
there's some
I'm
naughtiness
over.
going
I'm
on.
over to see Cheska and Myrna in the Philippines. It's gonna be fun.
There she is, Chick Banai USA. Awesome. Thank you for stopping by. Maybe we'll do the same. Type JAY, drop your link, Chick. I don't know if she, excuse me, I'm not, excuse me, I'm not sure if she's still here, but yeah, type JAY and we'll jump back over there. Thank you so much.
I'll find it for
Or
you,
if you have
Jay.
a blue jacket, just follow Chick Panay USA. Just follow her over there and
Yeah,
just
that's how I
type in
found it.
Raid J. No, I better do the same thing.
Well, I'll get the link for you,
So
Jay.
we didn't finish. We're taking so long to talk about the topic down there. People must hate that. Wait, long ball. Where is she? I just saw her. My chat is moving so fast I lost her.
There's a Chick Fil
We
A
got
live right there.
Jay's Journey, Jay's
Hi,
PH Journey.
Joy.
Megalove shout out. Good to see you, Jay. That was 5 minutes ago. Where's
I
Chick
just dropped the
Panay?
link for you, Jays.
Oh, okay.
Chick Fil A
Sometimes
live.
I get caught up and then I can't follow anything.
That's
Yep.
fine. That's
Yep.
what
I'm
I'm
on
here
short
to
sleep, but
solve.
I should be okay, guys. I'm not, I didn't I sleep it off. She's live. Let's check it out. All right. Let's gotta wait for the chat to pop up. All right. One of the things, Dan, we kind of do a variety show here. We do too much. I know these videos aren't specially made for what the topic is because we add other things in, like the variety show that we always do. We try to be a little bit funny, we try to be a little serious, we try to be a little friendly, and we try to give people the talking points. And after 22 minutes, we could have done all this, and I could have done a 6 minute video, 7 minutes, maybe 7.5 minutes, and I could have gone through the 15 things. I think maybe I should do that. I'll do that soon. It gets so hot here in the daytime, in the afternoon. It's like that rubs the energy. It's the last thing I want to do. Maybe I should set up in a smaller air conditioned area. It's so big here. I don't even have the acoustics set up right here because the room's so big. It sounds strange, echoey almost. Even though there's no reverb or it's not set on echo. Or I don't even have echo. It's just reverb or whatever they call it. It's not on. But the room's so big, the acoustics doesn't sound right.
Oh, okay.
I got to get some of that padding material. It looks like ridges. It's like a
I know.
purplish, dark purple.
To
Um,
absorb the sound.
yeah, but I haven't figured out how I want. There's this space behind me. It's hard to put that there. So I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
not that bad, Jay.
See, we have smaller rooms with air conditioning, but I don't want to seclude myself. I kind of like it down here. For whatever reason, it is hot, but that's okay. I'm getting accustomed to that. Where's the link? Oh, Jay, hold on. I know I'm behind. I'll drop that again. Didn't I pin it down? I thought I did. I did. The link is pinned up in blue. Check it out. The link
Nice.
is in blue, Jay. Come on up and hang out. So, there's no point in putting it down again. I will anyway, but it's already up there. There it is. Chick Panay, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. There he is. Just make sure. Yep, there he is. Yep. Hey Jay, what's going
Hi,
on?
regular
What's
shout
going
out.
Old
on?
old friend Jay's PH Journey.
In the house.
Yeah,
Hanging in there, hanging in there.
yeah. It's a beautiful day here. Where are you, Jay? Where are you now?
I'm still in wonderful state, Connecticut.
Yeah, old friend Jay's PH Journey. All right, kill that. Back up
Oh,
video.
hold on. Hanging in. There we
Hmm.
go.
All right, cool. So I'm going through the points real quick. I don't know if it's a moot point or not, but that's how we started. And then the third item is planning.
Yes,
Um,
definitely.
You need to turn your idea into a video with thumbnail and title, a clickable thumbnail. So a lot of videos don't have the right title. Oh, there's too much description in the title. That's not good either. You got to keep the description in the description with your tags and all that stuff, and backlinks and all that sponsors, whatever's in there, and then keep your titles short and simple.
Thanks,
Um,
Evan and Riza. HK.
the thumbnail, sometimes I make a thumbnail, and sometimes I don't. It's weird. Um, so I'm
Sometimes it's simple.
inconsistent. Sometimes I think the starter picture is good enough for a thumbnail, and then TubeBuddy tells me it isn't. So it's got to be clickable. A good one good word or two in your thumbnail can make it clickable, and it shouldn't be an exact match to the title, but it should be related to the title. And then because both will, the thumbnails first. You see the thumbnail first. Hey, I want to watch that. What's the name of that video? And then the title will grab me. The thumbnail grabs me. The title wins me over, and then I'll click on it. But it's the thumbnail I see first.
That's true.
Even if I think that's true, it is true. I never realized it, but now the more I think about it, the more I believe that that's true. Evan and Riza, thanks for stopping in. Hong Kong. Penais, Penai SK Lee. Penai, South Korea Lee. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Sometimes I'm trying to figure out the names because it's in all caps.
Hmm.
The best way to get us to say it the right way is to only put caps where you want us to emphasize. So capital P, capital SK, capital L, small EE. And then we'll see that, and we'll know what that says. That will be easier for everybody, right? Evan and Riza, you're doing it right. Evan and Riza HK, that's the right way to do it. And just J Mike's opinion, that's all. Oh, sorry about that. There you are, right there. So because we struggle, it's the same words, same letters, but we struggle to say it the right way. My channel is my passion. That's the right way, right there. Yeah, not right and wrong, just better, and I'm not sure. Better for me because I think being in HR all those years, I always wondered why some people would write their name in certain ways.
Hmm.
Chick Panay USA, there you go. That's a good way of doing it too, right there. So you no mistake there. So number 4 is production. That's one of the hardest parts. But you can't produce a video before you have the first 3 areas um, down pat. And what I mean is if you expect lots and lots, a lot of people will sit down and they will admit that they wish they could have a million views. If
Of
that
course.
happens before you're ready, you won't be able to handle it, and you won't make anything out of it, out of your channel. You got to be ready for that, and it doesn't happen on its own. It happens when you're ready and you do everything right. Then that starts to happen. Production. It's hard to produce a video. Now I get a lot of raw footage on my camera, and then I upload it to my computer. That's not a video. It's hard to produce a video, especially if you need to edit through it. Like story time. Our friend Putt Putt King, he does story time, but he does it raw. He just tells the story, and when you do that, I don't even think he writes it down. He's doing it out of his head, so there's a lot of stopping and then maybe some repetition that needs to be edited out. And he that could be great if he learns to edit like close to perfectly, more perfectly. Get a look because it'll make you sound like you know what you're saying, and that you were ready. Yes, you were ready to say it all in not so long of a video. If you're closing your video saying, thanks for hitting that thumbs up and maybe subscribe to the channel, don't dwell on that. Just do it as a second thought. And then if people are still watching, if your video was good enough, you can save that for the end, or you can say it after you showed your excitement. That's another story, though. And then reaction. Number 5, reaction. Reaction to your video. Don't just put a video up and forget about it. Study the analytics. Find out who's watching most of the video, or find out if a lot of people aren't watching all of the video. Check your comments. Find out if 20%, what's the percentage of people that are coming back and watching your videos more than once? Returning viewers to your channel. Find out those analytics and see what they like.
Mhm.
So if you have somebody that comes back twice, don't think they're going to come back a third time. Find out what the kind of videos they like. You don't have to ask them. YouTube, the analytics will tell you. Chris Kelly, Mega Left shout out. So, and there's some more good ones here. So going back to this channel is entrepreneur.com. This may have been up here for a while. I know there's one point in here that's kind of obsolete, but because YouTube keeps tweaking the way things are.
Hmm.
Videos are poorly. The reason no one's watching your videos, they're poorly produced and boring to watch. I'm guilty of that. I've made those kind of videos. Jay, what's going on? Let's put this in pause because that's the big one right there. Boring, poorly produced, and boring to watch. That's all you need to hear, guys. Um, hey, blessed life, good to see you. So thanks for coming up, Jay. What is going on over there? What are you,
Nothing.
what are
Just a
your plans?
relaxing weekend.
Yeah, it's Sunday night. So are you working in the morning?
Yeah, I gotta work early. I gotta wake up early tomorrow morning.
Not a bad thing, right? I woke up real early this morning. I woke up at 4 a.m. I'm not used to that because since I retired, I'm not used to it. I did it on occasion when I was working. I was usually up by 5. But
Yeah, I'm up at like 5:30, 5:45 in the morning.
yeah, when you do that routinely, it's no problem. But I haven't done it in a while, and today I decided to sit up and jump up and come down.
Yeah.
And I'm out of sorts here. I'm just going by notes. That's all I'm doing today. I get Darren. I don't know what the heck Darren's doing, but that's okay. We got Jay's PH journey up here. We just need. It's J and J. It's the JJ show,
I'm
guys. J
Hmm.
I'm
and J.
I'm doing a shadow suit he does and entertaining people in the chat. Typing
But it's not J3.
hello.
Don't you know? It's not J3. It's J2. It's the two J's.
I'm J2. I
Ah,
Oh, you're
am
J2.
J2.
You're two J's. Jay's journey. Yeah, that's right. So I'm
I
just J
just typed
Mike.
J. It works.
I'm just J. I'm J. He's J2, and J3
I'm
is. We
J2, and
saw
then
J3 yesterday, I think. Right? Didn't he pop in? Darren, he
yeah,
popped in.
J3 has been popping around here and there and going to other
Yeah.
places. So
Yes, I saw J3 there. Yes. Thank you
I
for
got the
that.
sniffles, guys. Sorry about that.
Thank
Excuse
you
me.
for that, my friend.
so hopefully, you know, well, I've been just really maintaining um, being home, working and being home, and
Being an adult.
yeah, pretty much. Doing everything, the everyday life. It's hard to do a live and do a video. It just kind of slow down a little bit, but it
Sounds
happens.
like you're getting older, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm telling you.
How's the lovely missus? That's what we want to know.
Mrs. is doing good and can't complain. The family's doing good. Godchildren are getting big. I can't complain.
Well, neither can I, but we had some sad news over the weekend. I did a video um, yesterday. We did a instant premiere yesterday. Our nephew, the nephew of Norma and me,
Hmm.
passed away on Friday morning at the age of 10.
Really? Wow, sorry
Yeah,
to hear that.
actually, he. Wait a minute. Double check the date. No, no, no. It was earlier in the week. I'm sorry. We had the wake on Friday.
Wow. Yeah,
So
we are dealing with, a loss too, just from since Saturday, this Saturday. So, it's still, fresh in our
The
heads. I
the
didn't meet
funny
the person, but
he always his name was Elon. He always smiled, especially if I'm trying to joke with him. He always had a smile, even though he was in pain. In the end, I didn't see him smile, but I didn't. I wasn't personally there in the final days. I didn't. I kept saying to Norma, "We got to get over there and see him."
mm,
It's too late, and it didn't happen.
uh, so young.
Yeah,
See, and it's
he
so hard, it's so hard when, you lose, people around you and there's like that attachment, you know?
he got a kick out of being called Elon Musk
Mm.
because of COVID. He thought that was funny.
That
That
is.
is funny. That's good.
But,
Yeah.
those little things that you remember them for, it will
Yeah,
always stay. And
yeah.
so, unfortunately, we can't go to the Philippines and,
Why is that?
well, because, the tickets are too much.
Yeah,
Don't have no vacation time because I had to use it for my surgery. And then when I got sick with vertigo, so that wiped that clean.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So then, so we can't go, pay our respects to, you know, my girlfriend's, family member or aunt. So it's crazy.
Yeah, I have so much to say about that. I don't know where to begin. I think I'll just be quiet today about that.
Yeah.
We're being lied to. I will say that, and it's not even funny. The ways that we're being lied to would shock a lot of people. They would actually hate me for not telling them the truth, but it would be true.
Mm,
If I told them who's lying to them, they would hate me and tell me that I'm ignorant.
mm.
So please, guys, please thumbs up this video. This is the one of my nephew.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
I accidentally deleted the original footage, so I had part of it. Just the very beginning, I took from an old video off of YouTube that I did months ago, a couple months
Hmm.
ago. But I needed part of that, in the original footage I lost. I accidentally deleted it. I was looking for space, and I thought I didn't need that because I thought, well, I'm in the Philippines. It's they did it in the Philippines. I can just reshoot that. But little did I realize I was going to lose him, so there was no more video for him. So
Mm,
I had to take. The reason is because I put some impact size text on there for like 10 seconds.
hmm.
That it didn't hurt, but it didn't look professional. I
Yeah.
didn't like the way I stopped liking the way I did that.
When you do video editing and it's time consuming.
Yeah,
Uh,
it takes a
it could
long
take
time.
hours, you know.
What happens is I spend so long on a video, and then when I'm near the end, I say, "Oh, this is pretty much done," and then I finish up too fast, and then it's not the exact way I wanted it.
Hmm.
Like I thought to myself, I need to my last video, not this one, the one before that, at the wet market. I thought this is great, but I need to cut something out to line up because I was doing a voiceover,
Hmm.
and I thought I need to cut about 30 seconds out so what I say will show up in the video, and it was supposed to work exactly, but I was so close. It took me so long. I said, okay, I'm going to be done, and then I finished it, and then I forgot to do that, and
I'm still
so
trying to do that, like the voiceover. I'm
it
trying
was
to
all
learn
good.
that.
Yeah, it was all good except my voiceover. It talked about something that was coming up in the video, but it wasn't there yet, and I
Uh-huh.
needed to cut out a little bit and then put it later because it was good to see, but I could have used it later, and I forgot to do that right at the end. And then because I was describing something that we were supposed to see, but the timing was off, and it just it. I don't know if it killed the video, but it wasn't exactly right.
Even like I'm trying to do. I'm even trying to do like me just standing there and have my hand out and put like a little screen,
Hi,
like
Nanette.
right
Mega
over
Love
my
shout out.
hand, and just trying to do little things and different.
I have to make mistakes before I realize what mistakes I'm going to make, and
Hmm.
then I know what the mistakes are, and then I get a little bit better, and then it isn't good enough, and then so I'm trying to grow. I don't
Yeah,
have the energy of a 30-year-old anymore. A lot
I
of the
definitely don't
YouTubers
have
are like
that.
they're like 26, 27, 28, 29. They're in their 20s. The successful YouTubers are in their 20s. They started when they were,
A lot of them are.
18 or some of them started when they were even younger than that.
Hmm. We just started late.
Like our friend Trisha J, she started when she was 12 or 13 with the supervision of her mother. But if she wants, she'll be a good YouTuber, like a big one. But it's hard to tell. It's hard to know where YouTube will be in a few years too. Nobody knew that it was going to be what it is now. And look at Facebook. The rumors are that Facebook is dying. Um,
Hmm.
because there are alternatives, and a lot of people aren't happy with getting their posts blocked and taken down and warnings. It's like, don't warn me about facts. I know that what I said is a fact. Don't tell me fact checker said otherwise, because I know who they are, and I'll go to their companies and I'll stand there and say I want to talk to somebody because I know what facts are. And I'm not going to show up with a gun. I'm going to show up with like, can I talk to you? I know what facts are. What the heck is going on here?
Mhm.
True.
Um, social tech geeks aren't scientists. They can call it science all they want. It ain't. It's a language. Language is an art. Technology is language.
Yep.
It
Very.
doesn't make them stupid. It just means it's something else. If you know something, you know it. If you know how to make a lot, like the big banks are now trying to ruin society by telling us they're trying to help save us. It's absurd. uh, you know how to make money. That doesn't mean you know how to please people in society. Because when you're building a conglomerate, there are people that aren't going to be happy. When I see Bill Gates, I think I don't. He gives me the creeps. But back in the early days of Microsoft, Windows 3.1, and then Windows 98, and Windows 4, and then Windows 98, and then Windows 6.
Hmm.
Windows XP
The,
was, I think it
the
was
good old
Windows.
times.
So I thought,
Wonderful
I thought,
AOL.
well, what a great idea. I preferred them over Apple, so I didn't care for Steve Jobs, but I didn't know anything about Steve Jobs, and I didn't know much about Bill Gates either. So I just thought, he's admirable uh, to run a company that's like just exploding like that. That was admirable to me. But now this global nonsense is like that's annoying to me. It's it's scary.
Hmm.
So, and it's the same with the other tech giants. Um, you know how to run a business, and you got lucky. Someone's making a comment. YouTube's the biggest. You shouldn't make any disparaging remarks about them. Well, that's what MySpace thought about Facebook.
Oh, look at MySpace. They went from being so popular to not even existing.
They're still there,
Yeah, but they don't even exist.
and it has those million. Darren,
Barely.
remember I was talking about the slide overs and the pop ups and the pop downs and the pop overs and all that's they're loaded with that now. It's like unbelievable. It's like it's a junk website.
Yeah,
I don't know what you call that. It's like
it's
there's no
just
control. There's no
they
control.
don't have nobody to really cover it.
Yeah, there's nobody working. It's
Yeah.
just whatever was there years ago. It's like 2006. It's still there. So I likely still have my channel, which had like
I
nothing on
don't
it.
even know my
It was
channel
just me.
anymore.
It's just my name and nothing there.
I don't even remember my channel.
if you ever put anything up on, even before that, there were websites where you could put some information about yourself, and I don't even remember who they are. Um, but that's all still there. You just need to find it. It's
Yeah,
probably corrupted. Like MySpace is totally corrupted.
I would
Um,
rather just close mine off.
Thank you,
Just
darling.
oh,
my wife loves. Do we still have mustard?
Yeah, and I wait for the bread.
Oh, no bread, just mustard. She's giving me bread. No bread. Yeah, no bread, no sugar. Bread is sugar, guys. If you're trying to lose
Yes.
weight or control your
Carbs.
weight, bread is sugar. Pasta is sugar. Cookies and crackers and cake is sugar. It's not just the
Mhm.
sugar you add. It's the flour without sugar is still
Good
sugar.
morning.
Good morning, Norma.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Good morning.
Everything flour is sugar. Everything made with flour is sugar. Your body thinks it's sugar, and it will store it as fat because it can't burn it. It'll burn sugar first, but then if it's burning sugar, it won't burn
And
fat.
then after so many years, you'll be taking pills like this for
Don't
the rest
do
of
it.
your life.
Yeah, don't do it, guys. Is that
Only
not
if you live
diabetes?
sometime.
Diabetes, what, 5? Oh, I hate when
Diabetes
the mother.
will.
Oh, I
Yeah.
forgot about that. You mentioned
Used
that
to,
before.
yeah.
Yep.
You're
No,
gonna
were
need
you one of
sugar
those
twice.
guys? Did you always have Coke for lunch and stuff like that?
Don't drink
Well,
pop. You can afford it. You
well,
can avoid it.
back in the day, you got
Avoid
to remember, back in the day, if you were poor, if you had like meatloaf, yeah, and something to drink was Kool-Aid or iced tea. That's all
yeah.
sugar.
We couldn't afford Coke and Pepsi, so I
No.
didn't have it.
So I drank iced tea.
My
Iced
mother
tea.
didn't. My mother made Kool-Aid with almost no sugar in it, though,
No,
so it
no,
wasn't
I was
sweet.
making my own Kool-Aid and
And the reason is
I
because
put like maybe
she
about a
said
cup and a half of
she
sugar.
said I can't afford to keep buying sugar. I'm not putting that much sugar in there. You're only getting a little bit. That's all.
Uh,
That's all you get.
I
She
am
didn't know.
saying,
She didn't know it was going to cause diabetes. She just thought I can't afford it.
uh, well, a lot of things we didn't think, back in the day would haunt you, when you get older.
Yeah.
yeah. Now it's ketchup. Health, health, health.
Well, Heinz ketchup in 2018 or 17, let's say right around there, 2016, 2017, Heinz ketchup was 40% high fructose corn syrup.
Uh huh.
I
40%.
know. Ketchup, sugar. So is peanut butter.
That's
Peanut
that
butter,
that
jelly.
that's diabetes in a bottle.
Yeah.
And we now know that diabetes is a deadly disease. Combined with COVID, you're a goner.
Pretty much. Even if you are, with high blood pressure, it,
Yeah, that too. That too. Yeah.
that too. And then if you have, cancer, that, that's another, deadly issue in
Cancer.
itself. Yeah.
Cancer is the big C.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know what I'm going to do if I get cancer.
I wouldn't even know what to do.
Hey, Super Dave.
I just wouldn't even know. I would just live my life to the fullest, forget the bills and everything, and I wouldn't even care,
That's true.
Yeah, I'll
you
just
know,
try to live. I'll just try
because
to
it
live with it.
because
I
why
don't want to go
stress
through chemo.
over, you know, going to chemo and losing your hair, and because you don't know when you're gonna, how many
Jed,
days or months you're gonna live through it.
my first wife went through not one but two forms of cancer. About 8 years, 7 or 8 years apart. Um, you don't actually get rid of it. You just go into remission.
Yeah, but then you still have to deal with, you know,
And then another form of cancer takes over.
yeah.
Once the first one goes into remission, that allows the second one to become the daddy or the mother.
So it's,
Um, the dominant there's a dominant cancer that will make the others wait until it's gone. Sort of like a pack of dogs.
just like with my uncle, he let us know that he had it not even a a week after his first chemo, he passed away.
The chemo, the reason they stop chemo is because if they don't stop it, it will kill you by itself.
Yes.
Chemo is deadly.
Yeah.
The hope is that the chemo will be deadly to the cancer before it kills you.
So,
So they can only treat you so many times with chemo. They'll
and
have
I
to
even
stop.
know a lady that I work with that she's in, in missions right now, but you could tell. Hello, Switch.
Hi, Switch.
So it's like
Sexy Mama La.
it's crazy. It's really, cancer is just something that is never going to go away.
Say, Bliss Life's here. Good to see you guys. Yeah, we're
Mm.
just talking about things that happen in life. Um,
So,
and
but the good thing is, I mean, even with me not being, on YouTube so much, me and myself and the missus, we got a new car.
yeah,
So we've been enjoying that. It's a 2023 Hyundai Elantra hybrid.
Elantra.
Nice. Nice.
And so far, we only filled up the tank. We've already had the car for a month and
Switch that.
2 weeks, I
Oh,
think.
switch it. Oh, switch it on.
And we only filled up the tank 3 times. And each time was only like $20 or $19 each time. So we've been saving a lot of money from gas.
Now you talking about the fuel? I missed that for a second.
Yeah,
You talking about the fuel?
yeah. We only fill like when we get down. Hello. So we get to like a half tank or a little less than a half tank, then we fill it up. It's like $20.
That's fantastic.
No. This business with the there's nothing written in stone or law, but there's a lot of bad signs. When Barack Obama was president, he mentioned that it would be better for Americans to live in cities. Then proceeded to write executive orders that would give a little more power, the power of authority over some regions and states if the federal government declares certain types of emergencies. And then now we're hearing that with the possible fuel shortage, there's still fuel, but the problem is
Well, the fuel's going up
they're
again.
making it illegal to dig and produce more fuel. That's what the problem is. So the supply chain, it has obstacles in the way.
Well, right now the fuel
If they
is.
keep doing that, people are not going to be allowed to travel,
Oh yeah.
even in their own country. You're not going to be able to go from Boston to Miami.
Mm. So like right now the fuel just in my area, it's like three. The gas station I go to is like 350, 355, but the gas station that's not even, let's say, 500 feet is at like 365 or 369. And then there's another gas station that's not even about a mile to 2 miles up the way. And that one is almost 380, 385, 386.
So closer to $4. So
So we're
here it's like
literally
six.
almost at $4 again.
Here it's about approximately $6 per gallon. They sell it by the liter
Yeah.
and they by the peso, but it's approximately, and the exchange rate changes here. Well, it fluctuates. So it's approximately $6, $5 or $6 a gallon here, and nobody's saying anything. They just live with it.
Yeah.
Filipinos don't complain. They just whatever the news tells them, that's the
New
deal.
person in our house, Michelson. So just let you know, there's a
That's his first name, I think.
new friend that does keep track. Michelson Joseph Michelson.
Everyone's arguing about the truth.
Doesn't have a jacket.
I've heard more than one person tell me there's more than one truth. That's BS. There's more than one perception. There's only one real truth, and there's more than one perception, and there's a thing called spin
You,
control,
Michelle?
Hmm.
and there's another thing called total BS.
Oh yeah, definitely with that. And well,
We're
look
all in
at
this
diesel.
together.
Look at diesel right now. It's already at like $5. Right, five. I think it was like 5.30 something. I think the last time I seen it. So almost $6 just for diesel.
Woo. Woo.
Yeah,
I remember when diesel was only like
but the
what
threat,
two
the
fifty.
threat. Now, someone said there's no shortage, but that's not the problem. The problem is availability.
Yeah,
Joe Biden's lying to everybody. He's lying to the planet.
we'll see who we
telling
get
us,
against
telling us
that.
he's telling the oil companies to lower the price at the pump. It's not their fault. He's preventing them from getting cheaper oil. I had this
Mm,
discussion months ago. If I can no longer get my supply, if I run a gas station and I can't get my supply from Shell, I have to I have to buy Russian oil or whoever's available. That
yeah,
costs more money to ship here.
hmm, yeah.
Um,
It
those,
makes no
those
sense. Like
deals are all
here in
banned. There's no
Connecticut,
ban on that stuff. So it's
you
just
know,
ridiculous. We're being totally lied to. It's
just
like
like
we're not
here in
that stupid.
Connecticut, you know, governors and senators. It is unbelievable that we
And
have
they've got
senators and governors, even mayors that don't do absolutely nothing. But the rich people around in Connecticut love them, right? They get all the tax breaks, and everybody else gets nothing. We get
Jay,
we get bent
Jay,
over.
we're reelecting them. A tax break is not money. It's not new. It's not new income. We're reelecting these people. Connecticut is no exception. You reelect. You're feeding the hand that bites you.
Yeah.
Massachusetts is the same thing. They have total idiot communists that are in Congress, and they're getting reelected.
Yeah.
They're not our intellectual superiors, and they're being reelected. They have
Well, they
they
keep
have
on electing them. So
they have
when
nothing
people
to
are
do
like,
with
"Oh,
you
he's
being
not
all
doing
right.
his job. He's not doing his job," but you keep on reelecting him.
Yep, and it's the same thing around the country.
Yeah.
And then they're making fun of the people that are trying to help us and trying to speak up.
They don't want that to
They're
happen.
the people that are speaking up and trying to say something. They're the most hated, but they're not hated by the people they're helping. They're hated by the people that don't know the difference or think that that difference is okay. They lie to it. Yeah, Super Dave. I'm on Dave's side. It's no. If you're under 50 years old, you don't know the truth because you've been lied to your entire life. The television show The Simpsons, debuted in I think 1984. Was it 82
Early,
or 84?
yeah, like
That's
80, early
40
'80s.
years ago. If you're under 40, you've never been told the truth,
Mm,
or you don't know the difference. If you have a bachelor of arts degree and you're under 40 or 50 years old, you also don't know the truth.
there's so many things going on just in Connecticut, and of course in this whole country.
The World Economic
Corrupted.
Forum. It's not just the World Economic Forum, but they have the most. They're the ones influencing this the most. The most. They have the most influence. They they have the World Health Organization in their back pocket. The CDC is run by administrators who are in their back pocket.
Yeah.
They're not our intellectual superiors. They're just not.
Well, even like
They,
with
don't-
my
they
company,
don't
like
care about us.
the the medical insurance, for medical, the cheapest. Well, they say it's the best medical plan and the cheapest, but every 2 weeks they take out almost $140 out of my check every 2 weeks.
That's $300 a month.
Yeah,
Wow.
You do the math.
that's just for my
Three
medical. That's
thousand.
not for
That's
dental,
thirty six
and
hundred
that's
dollars a year just to be able to say I'm covered.
yeah. But they
But
still
you're not
want you to.
covered. You're not
But you
covered
still
because they,
have to spend. You have to spend at least. I think it was what $5,000 to get covered 80%.
the problem is central banks and central leadership. That's the problem, and that's what the WEF is doing. They have a lot of power, and it's called they have the on and off button to our bank accounts. That's the problem.
So
Shadow,
Yeah.
put your food supply storage on speed dial because you'll get cut off first because you're away from everybody and you're up north. You're gonna freeze. You got now? Do you have fire burning stoves, wood stoves?
Not in the apartment.
Oh, so you're at someone's mercy. I'm talking about if people decide on who is to stay or who is to go. They want they want a smaller population. There there was remember when the Ukraine war started? This isn't about the Ukraine war, Ukraine and Russia. There was a big chat room going on YouTube back up in early, I think it was February or March, and they were all talking about who agrees with Russia and Ukraine and it was back and forth. And I said, China's the problem. And they thought, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Guess what I just heard yesterday? And the day before, and the day. China.
mhm,
China's
China.
not causing the problem. The American administration in power that wants to join China in the politics, that's the problem in America. Because they don't have Americans in their interests. And neither does the American administration. They don't have everybody's safety and life in their thoughts. They don't care. Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, those people, John Kerry, the head of global warming. That's all a scam. The, the the temperatures at the Arctic Circle and the Antarctic Circle have gone up a couple of points Celsius in 50 years, 50 plus years. Nobody has measurements of how much it went down 200 years ago. There are records that George Washington and his men froze at Valley Forge, right? They said it was the coldest winter that they had known in their lives. How do they know? They had no way of keeping records of temperature. They didn't know. They just knew that it was a fierce winter. We don't
Well,
know
everybody.
that
Well,
the
Jay,
Earth
I got to
moves.
get off here.
All right, Jay, thanks for
It's
stopping by.
already almost 10 o'clock. I got to go to bed.
The Earth warms and cools, and they're taking
Night,
advantage of the
Jay.
fact that we know now that it's going up. There's
Bye,
there's
everybody.
no
Later,
bye,
Shadow.
Jay.
Bye.
Bye,
Take
Jay.
care, Jay.
There's no actual proof that global warming is causing any problems. They can predict all they want. There is there doesn't need to be any proof that we can't go to green energy 100%. We should have had that in place before we decided to shut down oil drilling and gas drilling and pipelines for gas and oil. That was a dumb mistake. Darren, that's like jumping out of a plane and you forgot to check your parachute. Or you didn't have parachute training. Ah, it's okay. We got parachutes.
Thank you, Blue John, for the
What are you
blessing.
telling us, John? Is that a book, Confessions of an Economic Hitman by John Perkins? Yeah, these are all old tricks. These are all old tricks, guys. That it's part of the big lie. Thanks, John Blue. Thank you. Um, a long lost cousin of mine was a second grade school teacher, and a couple of years ago we had these arguments on Facebook, and finally I asked her, "What's do you know what the big lie is?" And the whole argument just stopped. The whole family was in the argument. Well, everybody that was on Facebook, they hated me, and I said, "Do you know what the big lie is?" And it all stopped right there. That was the last thing posted. The big lie is that we leadership tells people your most precious commodity is your children and you need to save them because of COVID or whatever it is, the issue of the day, and then drill that as hard as possible into everyone's heads until they'll do it for the safety for the good of their children, for the sake of their children, and they'll you tell them to jump and they'll ask you how high, how far down this canyon do I need to jump to save my children? They'll jump off a cliff. I only prepared Darren to talk about the common mistakes that new YouTubers make, and here we go. That's fine. Um, until someone
Loop it
wants to
back.
tell me. I'm totally
Finish the
ignorant.
circle.
I'm totally ignorant, Darren. I can smell a skunk when there's one within 5 miles down. Ira Jacob, good to
Oh,
see
no.
you. We got mega love shout out. You're still homeschooling your 7-year-old? Why?
Why? Why is this still going on? It's totally senseless.
Homeschooling is so good.
Well, it's your prerogative. I mean, if that's your choice, and then it's an available choice, that's fine. But if that's still
Even
the
if still if kids go to school, they still do
that's
some
still the
schooling at
rule.
home as well.
Um, if that's still the rule in where you live, I can only tell you in Chinese what that is. Something wrong. Something wrong. It's best to home. Well, what was happening in the U.S. was everybody had computers, and they were making the kids go online and listening to the curriculum of people that don't care about us, and they were teaching kids wokeness and what's the other thing, transgenderism and all that stuff, and just social justice. That's not reading, writing, and arithmetic. And the other thing about school is you have now you can teach social justice all you want in writing. Kids need to learn how to live amongst other kids and interact with them in school. Being in school is like being almost like being at work where everything has to be orderly. Everybody, kids have to stand up when they're told and go to the door, wait in line to go out to the lunch or the restroom or whatever they're doing, and walk as a group everywhere. That's that's necessary. And then you have recess where all the kids go out and play, and then you have silent reading. What's the other thing? Lunch, obviously, and going to the restroom, things like that. Kids need to interact, do those things together, especially recess. We find out what's going on in society with kids your age, um, kids your that are your intellectual equals, um, as best as equals can be. They're your age group or your intellect group. Some kids stay back a year. There's reasons for that. It's not just academics. They'll say, yeah, he failed reading, but it's really because he's intellectually um, a little bit behind where he would be more of a match with kids a year earlier, for the most part. I remember I had the same exact birthday as a kid that was a grade ahead of me, but he wasn't my. That was an exception. I didn't think he was my intellectual superior because I was the superior, in my opinion. But that does happen. It's not a perfect system because I always told myself, well, yeah, I should be a grade ahead too. So I didn't have any problem with him being a grade ahead. I just thought, I don't know how I got stuck in this grade. Because my problem was I kept changing schools because we kept moving a lot. So that was probably the major issue. Yeah, schools are for Dave. I don't
That
disagree.
happens. I've
They
a lot of
they were hijacked years ago by the administrations. So the administrators were telling teachers what to put in their curriculum. You have to teach this curriculum or you're fired. That's what they were doing. And they've got they have a lot of power backing them, and it's called the World Economic Forum. But it's not just them. There's a lot of factors involved too, but they're the big ones right now that we're talking about. He goes to a touting club with other kids every day. I paid $9,000 for 8 months, 4 hours a day. Yeah, that's not enough hours. For seven, he must be in the first or second grade, right? So I'm not sure what a touting club is, unless you misspelled that. I'm not sure. Um, it's a good price to pay. It's a lot of money for the average person, average family to pay for one kid. At 4 hours a day, that's like the average day should be at 6 hours or more. Oh, tutor. Yeah, see, so you're doing it. You're doing all you can, and it's costing money. I also got him another tutor to get. Yeah, my daughter does that. It's not tutors. She enrolls my granddaughter into all these types of things: karate, dancing. Um, what's the other? Gymnastics is the big one now. There's just all these swimming. All it's like 6 months at a time. There's all these different activities, and she's cuffs out a lot of money for that. So God bless her for doing that, but it doesn't stop. She's 5, so she's not old enough to start school. Soon she'll be old enough to go into the first grade. But they're just playing game after game with families and kids. Um, and the families are smart enough to know that something's wrong. They just don't have the power to do anything about it. They're all in America. They're saying something, but it's falling on people that are putting their fingers in their ears and going, nah, 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 nah. It doesn't matter what you say, because you're stupid. We know what's best. If you know what's best for your children better than you know the government knows nothing, then you are a Republican in the United States. There's different ways I could say that if you didn't understand it the first time. I could rephrase that. If you live in the United States and you're a parent and you believe that you know better than the government knows how to raise your children, then you are a Republican. Someone said that 20 years ago. He was the governor. He was the governor of California. Do you know who that was? A governor of California. His name was Arnold Schwarzenegger. He said that, and I know someone wrote that for him, but he's the one that said it at the convention. The all of America heard that if they were paying attention. That same year, my boss came to work and said, Barack Obama's going to be the next president. He's a genius. And I went, Hitler was a genius. The entire room shut up. I didn't know. Barack Obama wasn't president. I never knew he was going to become president. Because it wasn't going to be because of my vote. People say, oh, you're racist. No, he's a communist. He has communist roots. That turned out to be true. But to vote for somebody because of the color of he's black, I have to vote for him. That's racism. Because blacks were saying that. You have to vote for him because he's black. And then white people thought, oh, okay, I don't want to be racist. That's wrong. Single thought is it's wrong. It's a wrong way to look at it. Right? One of my favorite co-workers at the hotel for a number of years. She was a black woman, right? To this day, I love her. And she's not my girlfriend or anything like that, right? She's been to the Philippines with
Good to
a
clear that.
Filipino that I have, right? So um, she came running back to my office once, right? And she goes, "I hate black people." I said, "Okay, we'll talk about that later." Right. So then another time I said, "Why?" He said, "What happened?" I said, "Did something go wrong at the front?" He said, "Yeah, I didn't want to pay for anything." So, and she's as dark as they come. I don't know, where did Darren go?
I have no idea. He just
So,
disappeared like a ghost.
yeah, that was weird. So then she comes back and shows me her paycheck, and this is 2013. And she goes, "Why did my paycheck go down? I'm on salary. That shouldn't happen." She goes, "Did you cut my pay?" I said, "No, we didn't cut your pay." I said, "Let me see your pay stub." And she shows it to me, and I goes, "Ooh, that's weird." And so she sat with me and looked at my computer, and I said, "Well, let's go into payroll and find out what happened here." I said, I'm not aware that we took money away from you." And I looked and looked and looked, and I said, "It doesn't look like we took any money from you, but the net pays did go down like by like $10, or maybe $12." So I said, "Oh, I just figured it out. Federal taxes went up. That was Obama's doing." And she goes, "I didn't vote for that." We said, "Yeah, you got to be careful what you vote for. You got to know what they stand for." And today's Democrats in America, they want your money. They'll create more money to give you money to create inflation, which will take that money back away from you. It doesn't do you any good, right, Jim? Life free money from the government doesn't do you any good. Now, if you earn it through your
Immediate
work
turbo.
pension, that's different. That's your money. They borrowed your money all your life, and now you're getting it. You're getting paid back, and they owe it to you because there's no interest.
Hey,
You were
Jason.
not. You
Now,
were
nice
not.
to see you.
You were not allowed to invest that money because the government took it for free. Jason Lumayan, mega love shout out. Okay, so what are we going to talk about now? Jay's gone. I'm still finishing the thoughts that Jay brought up. You know why? Because I think way too much, Shadow.
Yeah.
Apparently, I got enough sleep last night. I'm just not used to getting up at 4 or 5 a.m. Norma was up at 4 a.m. watching videos. I said, "Get off TikTok and get some sleep." She goes, "No, I'm watching the
Headshot.
family." Okay,
Brother.
you're excused. All right, what's Super Dave? Hey, guys, come on up here. The ladder's pinned up in blue. If I know you, you can come up. If I don't know you, I can't have you. I can't bring you up, guys. They don't tell us what they really stand for. We see the truth of what they stand for after that. Yeah, yes, sometimes, but somebody that's been in the Senate for 30, 40 years, we should have. I already knew Joe Biden. I did not like him because I'm not a big politician outside of at work or anything else like that. They didn't. That doesn't go well at work. But I would talk philosophically to people for their own good, and they would think, "I hate politics." Well, politics hates you too if you have that attitude. You're going to be screwed. And I'm sure those people are saying, "Jason, you were right. You were right." I don't want to take credit for being right because I had no effect. I had advice that said, "Jay, if you can't control it, you got to let it go." So, but Aristotle once said, "Yeah, if you do let it go, you will be ruled by your inferiors." Right? Travel and more. There she is, right there. Mega love shout out. Travel and more. Darren, what's going on up in Toronto, Canada? How's the job market? How's your immune system?
Uh, Good, I guess. Not bad.
Take, take care of
It's
your
always
immune
a
system,
bill
guys.
to don't pay enough to survive this thing.
Yeah, don't if you wherever you live, if you're
Your
thinking of
job's
coming
pretty
to the if you're thinking of coming to the Philippines, right? If you have $1 million and you come here at age 50 or 55, and you don't have an income stream, if you don't have any investments that create an income stream, you will run out of money.
How long though,
So
Jay?
make sure. Now I have an income stream, but
Some people think $1 million is a lot,
I
which it
don't.
is, but some
I
people
don't.
spend too much thinking it's never going to work. The
I don't absolutely
lottery should do
know
it.
that I'm always going to have my income stream. That is a minor risk, but it's a risk in America. If I stay in America, it's the same risk, so it's cheaper to live here. What was your question, Darren?
How long will the million last based on the average lifestyle that people may live in the Philippines? Yeah, because they're
A
usually
million
not making
dollars.
interest. Hmm.
Well, if you spend your money like it's never going to run out, and then it'll run out quicker. Like if you build a house and say you marry a woman, her family has a little plot of land, and you say, you know what, you get the family to agree that they're going to let you build on it, and then you and your wife, that'll be your house, and maybe you extend the house, and then maybe one or two relatives can live with you, whatever. Maybe they can help you do work and stuff like that. That would be their rent. What Sometimes someone will stay here for a couple of months and he helps out around the house. He'll fix a broken pipe or something, and we don't charge him anything. And if we have a lot of food, he gets to eat, stuff like that. And then there's no problem, or whoever it is. But if you do that, you use your money in big ways like that. Sometimes, like um, oh, Tim in Palawan, Tropical Tim, his wife's his brother-in-law, passed away, and they had to help. There was a big emergency in the hospital, and he decided to help. So that took a chunk of change away from him. If I do that, I'll be in trouble. I'll still have an income, but I won't have any. I don't even know if I can afford that. It'll be close. I don't think because I already spent that much because I had my dental work done. It's only a little bit less, but in America it's so expensive. I couldn't afford it in America. I did save a little bit, but because I had a lot done. So, but it's not that much cheaper. Maybe double or triple. But that's still a lot of money to fix not all, but most of my teeth. I had, I still had a smile, but there were hidden problems. I had one of my most beautiful looking on the X-ray. My
Mm.
most beautiful tooth had a hidden problem. She said I have to remove that to connect because she gave me a bridge. She was, but I have to remove that to make a connection because I can't connect onto that. She removed it and she found there was like underneath damage, and I'm like, that was my best crown. So, and then she found more problem because I'm old. I'm over 60. So there's even though I had great dentists, but over the years you get problems that X-rays don't catch it. X-rays saw a perfect tooth. It's like, look at that. Well, I had another one too, another perfect tooth too, but they look beautiful in the X-rays. She goes, I couldn't have seen that because I did the total head scan X-ray, and so that'll all cost money. And
Uh,
so she fixed everything, like almost everything. They're not perfect, but they're good. Um, so that cost was it, it was over a quarter million pesos right there. So and then there were other issues too that we helped pay for with Elon and a couple other things. I don't want to brag about that, but if you keep helping everybody, you'll run out of money. I get the sniffles, Shadow. I got to keep wiping. I don't want to keep turning off the camera. I forget what stay live here, guys. So let's see. What else you guys got? Bless Life. Bless, are you at work? I think she is, or she would come up. She's the kind of person, Darren. She'll come up if she's not at work. She'll come on up and say hi. So if you want to say hi, guys, come on up. If I know you, I'll let you up.
cool.
we've had a lot of issues in the past few months with strangers coming up here and screwing things up. I don't feel like dealing with that today, guys. It's embarrassing if someone decides to show their rear end with nothing, totally bare. That's not cute. How anyone tell me how we can vote if we're living abroad? Jam life in Thailand. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Contact your embassy. Send them an email. Find out their email address or call. I find better responses when I email them. I didn't ask. I waited too long to ask about that. But in 2024, I might decide to vote. I'm not sure. Um, I usually don't miss an election like this, but something that puzzles me, guys, you might not want to miss this. The polls indicated that Democrats would lose almost every seat, including governorships. That didn't happen. Now, the Republicans don't run the polls; they're independent. They're usually bipartisan. The New York Times hates Republicans, and they said that Republicans would win. Now, if they're lying about that to get out the vote, I don't know. I can't be certain of that. Um, so Republicans weren't making that up. They were being told by independent pollsters, the experts at polling to see what people's opinions are. Um, they called me every day, and I don't answer the phone because it's usually I'm usually sleeping. And so when I wake up, there's always like 5 minutes phone calls, and they're all calling from New Hampshire to see. So those people all thought that the Democrat would lose in New Hampshire. The fact that a lot of those Democrats won tells me that there's some other kind of fix that's that's in place. The reason they stopped counting votes in Arizona and New Mexico is because they're waiting for the perfect opportunity when no one's looking to to replace votes in the boxes. That's what they're doing. That's what it looks like. I don't know for sure, but that's been said more than once by by people with some inside knowledge. Um, that's what they're doing because they have control of their election office. The secretary. That's what a secretary of state is, Darren. In the U.S., a secretary of state is a political elected person that is in charge of the vote, the election commission. That so they have ways of doing funny business. That's what we think some states are doing, and just because federal judges said no, we're not going to look at that, doesn't mean it's not so. That's politics. Judges are political. Some judges are political. Some aren't. Um, the, the 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 presumption is that when a Supreme Court judge is nominated by a president, that it's a political nomination. But a lot of Supreme Court judges, it's a lifetime appointment, and they don't always side with politics. A lot of them will vote their conscience, and you don't get the politics that you thought you were going to get. And sometimes you do, and sometimes you
Hmm.
don't. So
Well, they got the legal direction because even their
they're going to
conscience
leave it.
might tell them different, right? With people of
No,
different
they're
religions,
they're going to they're going to leave it to
it's
the
interesting.
black male Supreme Court justice. He's been quiet for all these years, for 30 years. Joe Biden tried to stop him from becoming Supreme Court justice. He's been fairly quiet, but he is a conservative. But they're going to let him write the ruling on affirmative action, which would be to give reward without merit for black people to get jobs in certain types of industries, such as government jobs, things like that. Schools, education, and government. Um, Reward would be the award of a job hire um, um, in government and education predominantly, and sometimes in some hospitals, um, where a African American would get preference for a job over somebody else that may or may not be more qualified. So they're gonna. I think the black Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas will write that decision, which that hasn't been made yet, but I think that could happen. I was actually shocked that they got rid of abortion. I had no opposition to that, but what I kind of underestimated how people want to have abortion. Like they want to fornicate with everybody and they want to have that as a safety blanket. It's like all you're doing is destroying lives. You're destroying the life of the woman's destroy.
See,
When they say it's my body, my choice, when women get abortions, they destroy themselves. You're destroying your natural body. That and sex changes. You're destroying yourself. Um, the, the original person that went to the Supreme Court to create legal abortion is the one that's made written statements saying that her life was never the same. Her life didn't get better. Her life um, it's unhealthy. Health issues. A woman naturally needs to go through childbirth and raise a child, and emotionally needs to raise that kid. So we shouldn't be doing that for all the wrong reasons. John Blue. You bought a rice field and you built a rice mill. I did. I never saw that. I'm curious to see that process because when I see rice fields and I see people bending down and I don't know if they're tending to the garden or if they're picking rice. I don't know what the difference is, what that looks like. I don't know what any of the process looks like. All I do is I see them from a distance, and they usually bent down, to reach toward the ground. I don't know what they're doing, if they're picking weeds or what they're doing, um, or cutting off excess foliage. I don't know what they're doing, or if they're what part of the process they're involved in. I don't know any of the process of picking rice. I don't know what it looks like to separate the rice from the chaff. I don't know. I never was able to see that. I don't even know how to produce wheat. Charles says just go to the embassy. Yeah, but I would contact them to find out the steps I need to take. So they might say, yeah, we're going to send you a ballot. They double check your address. They will double check your legal postal address, and I think they might mail it out to you, and then it'll be like by mail. But it's different. A absentee ballot is not the same as those mailed out ballots that um, they didn't have chain of custody, and that's another argument that we think that's how they're getting the illegal votes. Um, it's the reason it's not been proven is because judges threw it out for whatever reason. We don't. I can't say if it was political reasons or legal reasons. I don't know. Um, but it doesn't mean it didn't happen. It means it wasn't allowed in court. So it could have been political. That's the argument, is that it was political. Um, so for this to continue is kind of shocking. It's disconcerting, to say the least. It's like, okay, a Democrat has the right to run for office, but they don't have the right to call me stupid and cheat. If you're already in office and you don't debate and then you get reelected, I don't see that truly happening. And now voting has stopped in 2 states, uh, not to mention Georgia, which that's been stopped legally. That's just their process for anyone that doesn't get 50%. They have to do a revote, and they decided on ahead of time. They decided on December 6th. I don't know why they wait so long. They should have just done it 2 weeks later. But I think it's to get everybody ready to understand. Terrible runny nose today, guys. So people want the appearance of fairness. There was a fairness doctrine, had nothing to do with elections, and it was anything but fair. They wanted to give advertising airtime, like if you were a radio station or a television station. The fairness doctrine, which would have been law, would have been federal law, would say, okay, if you run a 60-second ad for somebody in favor of a Republican on your radio station, you need to run a counter ad of 60 seconds in favor of the person running against that person, whether you like it or not. It's like, oh, wait a minute. We're going to do ads for whoever gives us money. That's how business works. Now, if you say, okay, well, no, we only want money from the party we favor. Okay, so that's public knowledge. If you listen to this radio station, they just said that they only want ad revenue from the party they favor. Okay, so don't listen to them. Now, some people like the idea, well, I want to listen to my political adversaries, enemies, adversaries, enemy. I want to listen to my political enemies. So why did you not like Donald Trump tweeting on Twitter? At least you get to hear what's on his mind. No, we can't have the truth. That's BS. We wish to legislate that as a lie. We want legislation that says our political adversaries are liars. Or that there can be no. That's what Hitler did. Made it illegal to run against his party. He made other parties illegal. Penalty of death. You just get shot in the head in the room where they find you. If they break into your offices or your warehouse, here's what you get. That's what they did in Germany in 1930s and 40s, right? And then these people turn around and tell you that you're the Nazi. That's the big lie, guys. That is the big lie.
Yeah.
Now, I think, in my opinion, somebody can argue with me, and it wouldn't be 100% true, but in my opinion, I think most Filipinos would rather not speak up about politics. Why is that? The previous president, Duterte, said, "Oh, everybody has the right to speak up and give their opinion," but then reporters wrote that they don't believe that's true because they get persecuted behind the scenes when they do it. So who am I going to believe? I don't know. So on one hand, it's legal. You have freedom of speech written into the law, but on the other hand, they get persecuted. Not prosecuted, because when you face prosecution, it becomes public, and then there would be an outcry. But persecution is behind the scenes, and they say that's what happens. But I don't know because I don't see it. I suspect it's a little both. You're free to say good things. It's hard. It's hard to be very tactful when you disagree with something. It's the hardest thing to do. Sorry, guys, I stopped looking at the chat a couple of minutes ago. Oh, it's more than a couple of minutes ago. Let me play catch up, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Don't go away, guys. You're not going to want to miss the rest of this. We know we got off to a slow start on the thumbs up. Thank you for smashing that like button, guys. Putt King, we gave you a mention earlier. Just want you to know if you're still watching. I'm still 10 minutes behind.
I gotta check on my stocks.
Yeah, we give you a mention. It wasn't good or bad. We're talking about the things that make it difficult to get started on YouTube. We're still getting started, guys. You guys in the chat, a lot of you are if you're happy with where you are with your number of subscribers and you're fine with that, then that's all you're going to be. That's fine. It's fine to feel fine, guys. Myself, I don't celebrate number of subscribers because subscribers don't necessarily watch videos, guys. You need if you only have subscribers watching your videos, you're not going to grow. You won't grow. You need strangers, and that's what we talk about, guys. It's the hardest thing to do because we're up against film companies, film corporations, and major music companies, and television networks. We're up against CNN and Fox News. Okay. All right. I'll text you if I need anything. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of good YouTubers that maybe have experience with film production and television and movies and news corporations and sports networks that maybe they're doing a YouTube channel on the side with their experience. That's what we're up against, guys. There's no mercy on us just because, we're using cell phones and the free editor and stuff like that. There's nobody cares. Nobody cares about that. Um, they want to be successful, and strangers don't care, and they shouldn't care either. I don't want to watch a silent live stream. I don't have time for that. I need to watch videos that expand my mind, guys. That's what I do. But I will take a look at your videos if you have a premiere and you tell me. I'll take a. If we're all together, I'll spend a few minutes watching a premiere. If you come here and premiere a 1 hour or a 45 minute video, I'll watch it for a couple of minutes, guys. Super Dave, yeah, it's hard. It's hard to make that argument. Money is sent to Ukraine. Yep. Now, someone said to me. Someone said in a chat that there's no impeachable offense by Joe Biden, and I thought, and I stopped arguing. But one impeachable offense. It's an illegal war in the United States. No president has the power to start a war. That Congress has to declare war. So now that there's war being funded in Ukraine by the president and not by Congress, that's a crime, and that should be prosecuted. That's how you impeach a president. There's a couple of other things too. The hidden money from China that they said wasn't real, wasn't true, is true. We have indisputable evidence about that. That's true, and that's an impeachable offense as well. Um, so I don't know what these drug addict woke people, social justice warriors, are talking about. There's more to life than just art. Everybody, there are millions of educated derelicts. We know that. That was actually said by my CEO in 2004, Darren. Can't remember if it was '04 or '05. Um, there are millions of educated derelicts. You need to decide what you're going to do with your life. Putt Putt King. What can I say? Keep trying to figure out. Storytelling is very successful on YouTube. Check out some of the highly successful storytellers. Um, just do a search engine word storytelling or story or something like that and see how many there are. And check out some good ones. I think from what I've seen you do, you might think, you know, it's just me. I'm not that good at this. The more you do something, the better you get at it. But you can't just put up a raw storytelling. Like when I do a live stream, I can't just take a 3 hour live stream and make a video. It doesn't work. I would need to cut it down to 5 or 6 minutes. And what I would do is write it
Yes.
down, right? Put it on a Word program. Put that Word program right next to my webcam on my. I get plenty of light in front of me. I don't need a window behind me with the sun. There's no sun coming in that window. It's light, but it's not sunlight. The sun's over here, but we're not looking at that. So it's good to have the light coming this way. But put a Word document up there, even if it's only outlines 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and cover those points. Those are talking points, right? Cover them and don't waste any time you waste while you're making the recording. Put that on the editor and cut out the little 5 seconds here, 2 seconds there. Cut all that little stuff out when you're looking. Like when you do that, everyone does it. You're not. You didn't invent that. Um, See, I just did it right there because I'm live. So I stopped to say and I just did it again just to make a point. Cut that out in the editor, and when you put it up there, it will look professional. And cover the 4 point. I wasn't ready to talk about this, um, but in the beginning of that video, give some excitement, and then at the end, for 30 seconds, right, talk about what's going to be exciting, and then say, so let's get started with how the story began. And you're not going to want to miss the rest of this video. Um, and give a thought to giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel as well, and then get on with the beginning of the story. Don't say that twice. and at the end say, "Thanks for watching." You might again want to remind you to thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Don't hesitate over that. Have that written down. Write it down underneath your outline or
Yep,
whatever you're talking about,
professional.
right? And then yeah, so you're not going. What else do I got to say? Oh yeah, don't do that. Don't let them see that. You're gonna do it anyway while you're making the video, but cut that out. When you I see people, I see those types of videos all the time, and I can see that they're the better ones. The better they do it, the more edits I can tell they're doing. There's one guy, I think, what's the name of his channel? It's Channel Makers. If he does a 7-minute video, there's going to be 50 edits. He's making edits over and over and over. I can tell. But if you sit in a chair and you don't move the chair, it'll look good. Keep your arms like this, I can't. Keep your arms here. Try to sit still and read your paper. Try to do it all in one sitting. That way, it won't look too cut up, even when you make edits. That's the secret to that. But start your intro with something. Guys, let me tell you the story of how my elevator, whatever you're talking about, how I rode the zip line into Gaitai and the wind almost blew me off the tower. And then start your story after that. So your intro is like your trailer. The exciting part is the beginning. Do you want to know how I almost got blown off that zipline tower? Stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss the rest of this video. Or whatever you're doing, and make that exciting. Make it sound exciting that they're not going to want to miss the rest of this video. But make sure you stay on point, on topic about your video. That's just keep that in mind, and don't be afraid to do it a second time. Take 2. But with take 1, you might be able to do it on take 1 every time if you're good at editing and edit out the in-between stuff that doesn't need to be seen, and it'll look like you're a professional news person. It'll look like you're pretty good. Don't worry about your voice. I have a funny voice too. Just make it sound like you're talking to your best friends or your family or whatever, and just say, "Let me tell you about the time that I was on a rowboat in the middle of the lake and I lost my oars." Don't go away. You're not gonna want to miss this, And then do your little intro. Guys, if you're liking this video so far, don't do that right away, but after maybe a minute or two, if you're liking this video so far, think about giving us a thumbs up and a like, and maybe subscribe to the channel. And then just a reminder, and then get on with it, and then don't do that anymore. Don't dwell on that. Don't dwell on. That's the end of my story. That's all I got for today. I got to get out of here and work on my next video, guys. See you next time, and then boom, gone, off, over, and the video is over. Yeah, don't be afraid to watch the
nice short.
I know everyone's talking, and I'm not getting to all my nose is like running like a sieve, guy. Super Dave, I feel that it probably was. For example, Adam Laxalt had a decent win in Nevada. Then they all of a sudden find enough votes to make Catherine Cook. That's what it seems like. I don't know what to tell you about that. People in charge of the secretaries of state, they're the ones in the United States. They're the ones in charge of their final voting tallies. They've got something in place, what we think. The only way to find out for sure is to sue them in federal court. If that's allowed, if that's legal, I don't know if that's legal, or sue them in the state Supreme Court, or figure out a way to keep running for office, and little by little, you can't do it all at once. Obviously, we just found out. Little by little, get power one seat at a time until you get to the bottom of it, and then that could be a lifetime. I don't know. There's something doesn't smell right in Denmark. Denver. Denver's another one. One of the tricks they've done in the United States is legalize marijuana to keep everyone stupid. Stop smoking marijuana, guys. It's not funny. Oh, it gives you the giggles. That's the other thing. They think it's funny. It gives you the giggles, and then it prevents you from understanding complex issues. And then you vote Democrat. And then you think everyone else is stupid. It's it's absurd. It's shocking. Okay, Pranay South Korea Lee says I have to head now. Oh, stay safe. Thank you for coming in. Unplanned the movie. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of hour long videos, guys, with some pretty intelligent people, and there's no doubt about
My project.
this this divide and conquer idea, this big lie. Yeah, go ahead, Super Dave. On my on my main channel, on my channel banner, there's a link to Facebook in my description of the live stream, and there's a link to Instagram too. Either way, you can send that to me on one of those, either Messenger or Instagram. Messenger through Facebook in my description, and Instagram on my channel banner. There's a link there too, or on my About tab, whatever. It's there somewhere. Messenger, I'll see it quicker because I have more people sending me Messenger. Instagram, I don't always have people because I use it less, so I don't have as many messages there. So, but I will eventually check it. Yep, it's funny. People think we're getting the impression that something isn't honest in Denmark. I mean, in Denver. It's Houston. We have a problem. Now it's Las Vegas and Phoenix, I guess, or I don't know what the capital of Arizona is. Tempe. I forget what the capital of Arizona is. Tucson. I think it's Tucson.
Scottsdale? I don't know.
Thank you, Jam Life.
No idea.
Jam Life, and I think it's Tucson or Mesa. Let me check it out. Quad Cities. I know it's Quad Cities. Arizona capital. All right. Quad Cities. The Quad Cities, I just named them. Mesa, Tucson, Phoenix, and let's check it out. Where are we? This is Phoenix.
Here's our famous star Talas in the house. Nice to
You got
see.
Phoenix. Here are the Quad Cities: Phoenix, Tempe, Scottsdale, and Mesa. I guess it's Phoenix. Phoenix is the
Okay.
big city. Yeah. Okay, so it's Phoenix. The Quad Cities are Phoenix, Tempe, Mesa, and Scottsdale, I believe. So Phoenix is the
Okay.
capital. So I should have known that. I temporarily forgot. Star Tell Out is here. Mega Love shout out. Blessed Life. Still hanging out. Good to see you. It's almost lunchtime here. It feels late. Oh, I know why. I need a urine break. Jam Life's hanging out. Later, hung and kiss. Thank you. Oh, someone leaving? Oh, I'm still behind. I can't keep up. Marinduque Island. Where is that? Where is Marinduque Island? Good day to you, too. John Warkus. What is that all about? You're stuck on subs, so here's what you got to do. Meet people in the chat. Wait for a jacket. And
Hurt.
I know I'm way behind in the chat. If you're still here, John Marcus, meet people in the chat. Say hello to Be Friendly. Wait for a blue jacket. And when you get a blue jacket, follow some of the people you're making friends with in the chat by clicking on the dots or tapping on the chat and getting the feature to drop down to go to channel. Watch one of their videos and make a nice comment, a real comment about the video. Most good people that are worth being friendly to, they'll follow you back. And then that's how you get people to sub to you. You're not allowed, YouTube does not allow you to put your link in the chat and ask people to sub to you. That's against YouTube rules. They will unsub people that try to connect that way. They won't let you do that. So just be friendly and people will follow you. That's the natural way to do it. Um, that's why you're stuck. And you need new
Yeah.
videos. We talked about what goes wrong with videos. Basically, this is hard for all of us to accept. Basically, our videos are poorly produced and boring to watch. So make sure you edit them short, don't make them too long, and start off with something exciting. Guys, you are not going to want to miss this video about the time I fell off the zip line. Don't forget to like and subscribe and stay tuned for more. Right. And don't waste time with the intro. Just like, okay, 3 seconds, J Mike channel, and then back. Okay, so here's how the story begins, guys, and then you get right to it. And then edit out the oohs, ums, and what was I thinking. If you're sitting there talking, you got to edit that stuff out. And don't show something that's lasts too long. And if you're walking, here's the mistake everyone makes when they're walking short. A really good YouTuber did this, and I don't want to criticize the person because I'm a channel member. I am a sponsor of the channel, but when you move the camera side to side too much, and then you're walking and you're looking down on the walkway, and you're not showing us the storefronts or what's there. There's there's too much looking down and going side to side. You can't see anything that way. Don't do that. Give us something to see, and in the title of the video, tell us what we're going to see in the first 30 seconds. And it's got to be exciting. It's got to be what you can search for on other videos, or else no one's going to look for it. If they're not looking for it, they won't watch it. I'm not sure about extra large breasts. I'm not sure about what that means. So, yeah, I wouldn't make my channel too vulgar. They don't usually get a lot of subscribers. Share Pencils here. Megalove shout out. Sorry, you must be wondering why I'm not saying hello to you guys. We're talking about what's in the chat, and we stopped. We're taking too long. Walnuts are good for you. It's hard to. They're not always in season. It's hard to find them all the time. If you can find walnuts, get some and eat some. They're soft nuts. They're good to eat, and they're very very healthy and beneficial for the body. But you can't always find them, even here. You can't find them all the time here. Norman buys mixed nuts just because of that, because you can't always find the exact nuts you're looking for. It's your birthday! Oh, happy birthday! In the Philippines, Darren and Shadow, it's not a birthday. It's a birthday week. They usually celebrate for
Cool.
about a week, 5-6 days, whatever. If your birthday's on a Wednesday, it's a birthday week. I like to watch a couple of people. I only want my brain to. Yeah, I like intellectual videos also, especially if it's Jordan Peterson and Ben Shapiro. I will watch them all day long. But I need more than that. Just those guys too. Hard to watch Joe Rogan all the time. He's a smart guy, but I know he's a pothead. So he's a good guy, though. I do like him a little bit. I wish him well. Because I know for a fact that smoking cannabis slows your thought process. But he's already a smart guy, so whatever it's doing, it didn't stunt his growth because he's already a smart guy. See, if you're 12 years old, you start smoking marijuana, you're not going to develop. When you're 30, you'll still be 14, so. Oh, I hate having to wipe my nose every second. I'm on TV. I can't do that. Not supposed to do that. Yeah. Yeah. Network news is the problem in society, guys, because they're very clever. Cleverness is not wisdom, but it's working on the dumb half of society, and that's opinion I have formed over many years. That doesn't mean I know everything, Darren. I decided not to chase money a long time ago. I believe I have enough to keep us alive and living. Yeah, I said you can. You can share the link here. I guess. Yeah, go ahead and put it in here, Dave. I thought you were going to put it in my messenger, on my Facebook link in my description. Yeah, John, I realized a long time ago that the network news is up to some monkey business. Um, the requirement to get an anchor position at a lot of these network newses is not to be the brightest person in the world, because they don't want you to figure things out. They want you to believe in legalized marijuana and gay sex, because they advocate sex changes, and that lowers the population. That's one of their priorities. Just advocating it is all they need, because he's saying it to millions of people over and over, hundreds of thousands of people over and over and over, and they think it's reality. Oh yeah, there's more than one truth. They think there's more than one truth, and they prefer the truth they like, so that's the truth. It's so stupid. It's my story, and I'm sticking to it, guys. I know who YouTube favors. That's another thing. I'm not going to keep going down that road, but there are some funny things going on. It's pretty obvious to a lot of people. My wife only needs to see 11 more states to see all the USA states. I've set foot in about 26. I lost count, but that's because of travel and connecting airlines. I've been in. I don't really know LA, but I've been in LA airport, so my feet are on the ground in Los Angeles. And it's the same with a lot of cities. It's the same with San Francisco. I've never been outside the airport, but I've been there. So, and I did get some overhead pictures of the Golden Gate Bridge, but that I did that before I was a YouTuber. I had a channel that had no content. I wasn't doing videos, so it didn't occur to me to get a nice video. But from the window of my plane, I got a lot of overhead shots of the bridge, of the Golden Gate Bridge, and the rest of the city too. There might have been like a 6-second video. I can't remember. I have to look back. And I guess they did the same thing over New York too. There's a little video over New York, but I can't remember where it is. It's on a thumb drive somewhere. I don't know. I don't know. I may have accidentally deleted some of it. I don't, just to save space. I can't remember. Hopefully I have it somewhere. Well, I don't know if I need it. I remember being over the new Mets Stadium. I think it's MetLife Stadium. I remember getting a little bit of footage, maybe a minute of footage, flying over that. Darren Sharapence is asking how you doing. Oh, you already answered it. Projects with Paul. Good to see you, Paul. My intent is always to catch up, but what happens is by trying to get on the chat, I stop and I respond to one or two chats, and then I fall behind that because of that. So I'm behind in the chat because I'm reading the chat and I'm talking about it.
Hi, Corner Clubhouse. Thanks for the
It's so easy to do. It's so easy to just look through it real quick and do shout outs, rather than just to read one of the what somebody's saying and then talk about it. Right? Shadow appreciates that, right, Shadow? Instagram, okay, I will. I'll take a look at that. That's very interesting. Darren, I said a while ago I need to relieve myself, and I didn't get there yet. Shorts are a big help. Yes, shorts do help your channel. They bring eyeballs to your channel now. They create suggestions for your other videos if it's related to what they watch. That's why I said earlier, you should be reviewing what your viewers watch for themselves on you. The studio tells you that what your followers, your subscribers, what they're watching. Your YouTube studio tells you that what their favorite 3 or 10, their top 10 favorite types of videos by title. That's why you got to have the right titles in your videos, guys. Don't put a big long story in your title. Put that all in the description. The title should be specific to what I'm going to see in the beginning of the video. If you're at a waterfall, I should see water falling off a cliff right away in the video. That should be the first thing. And then at the 20 to 30-second mark, you should be going, we're here at Niagara Falls in Buffalo, New York, on the American side. Guys, don't go away. You're not going to want to miss the rest of this video. And then you do this.
That's really good advice.
Please thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, guys, if you want to see more videos like this. And then you should be at like 40 to 45-second mark at that time, and then start with maybe how you showed up to the to the parking lot or the sign that says where you are. I like to do that. Like a little bit after the exciting part of the beginning, show the sign of the entrance where you actually where you are. Show that sign or however you get coming in, whatever that looks like, and then say, "Here's the story of Niagara Falls on the American side." Blah 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 blah. Have some facts, some specific knowledge to talk about at that part of the video. Do that. Here it is. Yeah. Uh, just my short thought on the Ukraine war. It's an illegal war, and my tax dollars shouldn't be spent on that. That's killing the economy. The fact the fact that we're printing money to give away because of COVID, and the fact that there's too much inflation, so we're going to give you bonus money. That doesn't make sense. That creates inflation. That's screwing with everyone's life, because now people are having a hard time buying food and gas. What's going to happen is you're not going to be able to visit nearby cities. There's going to be a stop to that. You won't be able to go from Boston to Toronto by car. You might not even be able to take the train. There's all sorts of problems with travel right now, and it's political. If somebody tells me it isn't, they're full of shit and very ignorant. I'm not giving you all the facts, guys. I'm just giving you the basics. Hillbilly at heart, awesome. Now, if it wasn't for marijuana, I would have been hooked on painkillers or dead from. Is it really an efficient painkiller? And dead from painkillers that would have been prescribed. Okay, so not everyone can say that, Billy. A lot of pot users are younger people that are in good health otherwise, and then it goes downhill. They run into that lets their mind go
Hi, Christy Angelo. No, it's
into
for
other,
some people.
other
There's
bad habits.
THC, there's CBD. CBD is the less addictive. It helps
Yeah,
with
but
PS, what it, post traumatic
but
stress
the
disorder.
advocates the
You don't
advocates
have
for
to
legal marijuana.
take oil, so there's a difference.
I don't disagree with that. The advocates for local legal marijuana are young, healthy people that
Yeah,
choose leisure and entertainment over logic and work. And I don't mean 100%. I just mean
younger people use
predominantly.
it legal.
Predominantly speaking, most people realize they need to work for a living, but it goes downhill when you take those kinds of risks at a young age. You don't really develop mentally and emotionally, and that causes other problems. Is what I'm saying.
Just got to
You
be
know,
medically supervised.
medicinal marijuana wasn't the first argument. That was the last argument.
That's
Why
not
is
good.
that? Because they weren't making that argument. That argument wasn't made until the recreational users decided there was a reason they could get away with, and then they were getting older too, and they were finding out that they had, you know, in their older ages it was relieving some of their pains too. I don't know. I hear tell that the relative strength of marijuana is stronger now than it ever was. That I have heard
If
that.
if they're using
People have
THC,
corroborated
you can
people
buy
have
THC.
corroborated to me that that's true.
Yeah,
People
it's
who are
true.
growing it and selling it to friends in Massachusetts have corroborated that that's true.
Yeah, but it's the THCs that's very strong, which is necessary
In the
for
'70s, in,
medicinal purposes.
in the early '80s, there was always talk. Yeah, there's a lot of cheap marijuana that's not really very strong, and then there's a more expensive brand going around that's stronger and better, and then that was all the talk until finally it's just all better now because it's legal. Cali King 916, yeah, we're kind of changing the subject a couple of times over, going around here the the subject windmill, if you will. And I got a little cold. I don't know why it's so freaking hot here. I don't know why.
It's the
Running nose.
Philippines.
Christy's here. Christy Angelo's here. Mega Love shout out. Yeah, all the viruses go around here too. Um, this it helps. Okay, so that's fine. It's legal. So now I've had my doctor's office a couple of years ago. Last time I checked, they said they weren't advocating it for medical use, but I'm sure at the time they didn't have patient to
Education.
make patient. Oh, they're educated. They said, despite what everything said, there's no argument that we're going to go along with. But in some
They're
cases,
steadfast in
I'm
their
not.
opinion.
I'm
And
not. I'm not. They're saying that don't come in here and make an appointment to ask for that because that would be a You ever watch the television show Doctor House?
yeah,
House was the name of the show, but the finest heads got together, consulted each other. How we going to figure out this issue with this patient? There's always a consensus that maybe we should try this or that. No, that won't work. That'll cause other. It's not a real cure or whatever. And then they figure it out in the end. So
yeah.
that's what good doctors do. They don't just say, "Yeah, we're just going to switch from." I don't know what the number one pain relief is. We're going to just switch from morphine and we're going to stop using morphine, just like sudden death to morphine, and then marijuana will be the drug. They don't do that. That's what
No,
they're talking about.
no.
Whatever their minor pain relief
And
was. Nobody
everybody's
came here to
different.
get marijuana.
Everybody acts different.
Yeah,
So we got
they
to
wanted to
try
have
different
the
things.
statement. They wanted it to be known that don't come here to ask for a medical marijuana. Don't do that. Because a lot of people do it so they can get a job that prohibits testing positive for marijuana. We'll hire you if you test negative for recreational drugs, and marijuana is one of the problems. No, can't hire you. You tested positive for THC or whatever.
And the
That's
same
I've seen
same
that.
thing as same thing as drinking, like you were saying before. Is when
Yeah, I
people are working on a job site. Same thing. You can't come to work.
Billy. Yeah, Billy. I when I retired, I had no debt. When I got divorced, I had no debt. But it's so hard to stay that way though. But that's the way it's going to be now. I have credit. I have lots of credit, but I don't want to incur debt that way. Credit isn't made to just borrow money that you're not going to pay back.
Right.
That's the mistake young people make, I should say inexperienced people that are inexperienced with credit. They make that mistake. They
Don't,
oh they
and
just buy they just buy
don't get into
something.
credit card debt. Don't get into credit card debt. It's too expensive.
What I did a lot was I used my credit card basically to get gas for the car and stuff like that. So by payday, I would pay it all off, and then my balance is back to zero, and then use my credit card for gas and groceries, and then pay it all off on payday. So the
And you can
balance
get
always
free
hits
food.
zero.
You can
The
get cash
balance
back.
hits zero every month, and then the more you spend on it, and you hit zero, the more what do they call that cash back? I forget what the rewards. You get a little reward, so that'll put a little gas in your car too. And Darren, I'll be right back.
Mm. Uh, don't get in credit card debt. It's most expensive. 20% a
But
year.
it's
Not
really
good.
expensive.
It's easy. They'll give it to you. But if you can get rewards, pay it off in full, you do that. Because then you build up your credit rating. But usually in North America, ideally you want to spend less than 30%, ideally less than 10%. Don't max out your credit card. It's not going to increase your credit score. Putting something in your credit card and paying it in full, that increases your credit score. Now people need good credit scores to get sometimes jobs in certain areas, definitely mortgages, rent. They might look at your credit score. See if you can manage. It comes down to living in a budget. If you live in a budget, you're good to go. But yeah, credit card debt's not good. Investment like a home, that's good credit. Good. Sometimes a car if you're using it for business. That's good debt, not credit card debt. Yeah, credit cards are good to have to build a credit rating. As you get older, if you don't have a credit rating, you don't qualify for certain things, including a mortgage. They look at your credit score, you don't have a credit score. But yeah, if you can pay cash, great. But it's also good to use a credit card. Sometimes credit card for convenience, but sometimes even here in Canada, the credit card systems go down or something like this. So you need cash on hand, credit cards on hand, debit card on hand. That's what I always do. Yes, the trick is not. It's literally a budget. There's a percentage of your budget. 25% goes to life, 35% goes to mortgage or rent, so much, 10% goes to paying off debt, and it's just percentages, and you live in those percentages. But yeah, but things are getting more expensive. It's more difficult. But adjust. People are paying
I
more now on the mortgage and stuff. Yep.
never had a credit card. My mother's can make that statement too. Um, yeah, that's the wrong kind of debt. The only good kind of debt is when you go into debt to buy an asset,
That's right,
that
like a
which will
house.
create an income stream. No, your main residence, your primary residence is not an asset, Darren. It's a
But you
liability.
can use it as an asset. Number one, if you have a rental basement. Number one. Number two, it increases in value no matter what. So you have to live somewhere.
If it's
So it's
rental property, if it's income property, then it's an asset. But if it's just your primary residence, a single family home, it's not an asset unless you sell it at a capital gain.
don't ever sell real estate if you can. But make it into an asset. Like if you run your business from your home, you can write off a portion of
Yeah,
that residence, which is
you,
smart. So you turn it to your advantage.
anybody that doesn't have a personal budget is making the biggest mistake of their life. Um, you take you take your income and you subtract all your bills, including your food, and you see what you have left over, and then you take your credit card and you make your purchases, and then at payday you pay off what you owe on those purchases because you already know that you have a budget based on your income and your bills. Whatever's left over, that's your grocery money or your spending money. Now, if you don't budget that spending money to go into savings, that's another mistake.
Okay, so there we go, guys. There's our new.
Renato Pepito, Megaliv shout out. Thank you, Renato. Let's
I'm gonna push
see.
that. So that's Ronaldo has a new upcoming premiere in 2 days. So Ronaldo, I'm gonna flex that as well. I'm gonna drop that.
Renato Pepito, thank you for stopping in. Star Talaz here. Good to see you, Star. Hi, Star. I think we said hello to
Ronaldo.
projects with Paul and Kelly King. Corner Clubhouse, my other brother Darren's right there, guys. And Unpanay Vlogs 14, our good friend Darren.
Yes, yes, yes.
I
So I
see
dropped
I
Ronaldo's
mentioned
premiere. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, when's the premiere? Let's take a look at that. Oh, in 2 days. Oh, Halloween. It's a Halloween video. That looks real. That's
Isn't that
kind of
amazing?
yeah, that's kind of fantastic. I will set that. A mask. A mask ready. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's a great costume right there. 64 thumbs up, guys. Thank you for smashing that like button. If you haven't already done that, we will entertain if we can see 100, guys. Maybe even if we don't get to 100, maybe we'll do that. Maybe that's what we should do, Darren.
To get those numbers up.
What was that song I sang yesterday that I don't usually sing?
That is a good question, Jay. I don't know.
Yeah, I remember singing something fun, but I can't remember what it was. It's
Every
all like a
song's
blur
fun.
to me. It's all like a blur to me.
Yeah.
You know, I took a look at TubeBuddy today for the first time, but I
Uh-huh.
didn't sign up for the pro plan, which isn't very expensive. But maybe I'll get rid of PicMaker and then I'll switch over to TubeBuddy because it has a
Cool.
free thumbnail maker, which all I need you don't I didn't need the fancy thumbnail makers on PicMaker weren't good enough
Bye,
because it didn't
hillbilly.
it didn't highlight the person in the foreground against the background. It didn't really make it pop. So maybe that's not worth it. My thumbnails aren't getting clicks. So now with TubeBuddy, all I need is that big, the diagonal text. That's all you need, and then take the best. You can take the best picture out of the video, the best frame, and then
Okay.
put a big diagonal text across it. And
That's
then
nice. That's a good idea.
that's the thumbnail you need. That
That's
by
it.
rule, by terms of service, the thumbnail is supposed to reflect something in the video or the host. You can reflect the host. Like if I do this, I can do that. Toby,
Toby's
Toby Bryant is here, guys. It's Toby Bryant. Who's he looking at?
He's
You
looking
know
at
what you
you.
do, Dan? I
Hey,
know.
Toby.
There he is. He's back. He's back to normal
You
now.
spit at me.
Toby, what's happening? Toby Bryant is here, guys. Toby Bryant is in the building.
Uh,
You like that one, Shadow?
yeah, I always like that.
Thank you. We're not
It's some
talking
sort of
people.
fun.
Yeah, as long as I don't want to overuse it. Sometimes you go to a live stream, Darren Shadow, and there's somebody that he just keeps talking with that voice, and then it gets old. It's like, stop it, will you?
Hey, beautiful vibe, Tendex. Make up, shout out.
Billy and Hart, thanks for stopping by, Billy. Good to see you. I'll check out your channel. Hold on. I will be sure to go over there. I'll open it up right now. I'll check it out after the show. A little bit longer to go, guys. I gotta
Living
be
the
in.
dream.
Darren, I gotta be in the top mood to do Roy Orbison. It's too hard to do that, but I will. I will do it. Not today, though. Beautiful vibe dynamic. Thanks for stopping by. Good to see you. You heard what? She said, I heard that in some karaoke streams you did it better. Which one are you talking about?
That high pitched voice you usually use.
Oh, the high Toby? I don't like to overuse it. That's why. It doesn't work. If you just keep talking, it doesn't work. It's got to be, you got to pick your spots to make it funny.
I agree.
Like,
You're
Darren,
welcome, beautiful vibe.
Darren, hold on. I told you, don't speak when the adults are talking.
Oh, there you go, guys. Thank you, beautiful vibe. Thanks for the comment on my video, too. That's awesome. I had to use part of an old video, the first part. I had to take that because I lost all the original footage from that because it was made in December of 2021. And I was on my on this new computer. I was running. It's not as big of a hard drive. It's solid state. It's a better computer. It's i5 instead of that's an i3. But the i3 has a terabyte of space. So I was saving space, and I thought, oh, I'm already in the Philippines, so I can get more footage in the Philippines. So I can delete some of those videos that I made in December. And then I didn't realize that we were going to lose Elon. So I had to use some old video. That's all I had. Um, and I'm heartbroken about that. And if you think I was heartbroken, the women are like, they almost lost it. Norma, even when I was making the video, she was sitting here sobbing her heart out. Because I said, honey, it's ready. Let me know if you like it. She never told me if she likes it. She just sat there and sobbed. There wasn't much to say in that video, other than what was in the original footage. I was talking, but I had some music that was overpowering my voice. It was I thought that. Did you think that music was fitting, Darren?
Yeah,
Shadow?
yeah.
I because I mean I felt something, so I thought it would be fitting. Um, but still not a lot of views. I did change the thumbnail though. I used the Tube Buddy idea. Thank you, thank you, thank you, beautiful vibe dynamic. Very so kind of you. Let's shadow drums, please. How many we got? Thank you.
65.
65. You know what? If we stay live for 6 or 7 hours, we'll hit the 100. But I don't. Just a little while longer, guys. I don't know if I don't like to go too long anymore. Not usually. Maybe one more time. Will. Thank you, beautiful vibe. Maybe, but yeah, just so the beginning of that was from December, and then the middle of it was from June. I took some clips from June, and then the end of it obviously was from Friday. And I didn't need to talk. Actually, I had more footage where I was talking, but that all got cut out because I didn't want to. I didn't really want to talk except for the beginning. But the music, I had the music. I can't change that because I lost it. I lost the original. I think I lost it. Maybe I should go into my editor and see if it's still there. But if you move a file after you make the video, it'll disappear. It'll say missing. So it'll only find it if it's still in the same place. It's going to look in the same place. There's a marker. I don't know how that works. It's like a key register. When you're making a video in your editor, the editor is putting markers in the computer to tell it where those videos are. That's why it takes so long to make a video. Because you're sliding it into the editor. You're pointing to a link. You're creating a link is what you're doing. And you're pointing to the video and you're telling the editor where to get that video, that part of that video. And then you're telling it to either make it shorter, start it here, or start it there, or end it there, and then put this text here and there. That's what you're doing. Thank you, awesome. Yep, awesome. Good to see you guys. Um, let's sing a song. Now I have a cold. I hope this works, guys. I hope it works. Now I have a cold. I hope this works, guys. I just turned that up and I went too soon. Sorry. Turned that up and I went too soon. All right, who else is echoing here? She
Rocket.
packed my bags last night pre-flight. Is that loud and clear, please? 0 hour, 9 a.m. And I'm gonna be high as a kite by then. Is that loud and clear, Sean Williams? I miss the earth so much. I miss my wife. It's lonely out in space on such a timeless flight. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. The touchdown brings me round again to find I'm not the man they think I am at home. Oh no, 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 I'm a rocket man. Rocket man, burning out the fuse up here alone. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. The touchdown brings me round again to find not the man they think I am at home. Oh no, 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 I'm a rocket man. Rocket man, burning all the things up here alone. Mars ain't the kind of place to raise your kids. In fact, it's cold as hell, Scotty be sure. And there's no one there to raise them if you did. And all the science I don't understand. It's just my job 5 days a week. A rocket man. A rocket man. And you think it's gonna be a long, long time. So touchdown brings me round again to find not the man they think I am at home. Oh no, no, no. Rocket man, rocket man, burning all the things up here. I think it's gonna be a long, long time. Touchdown brings me round again to find not the man they think I am at home. Oh no, no, no. I'm a rocket man. Rocket man, burning all the things up here. I think it's gonna be a long, long time. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. Oh yeah, one of my favorite songs, guys, right there.
Whoa!
Bit of a cold.
Hey, Scotty B's in the house. How are you, Scotty?
Scotty B, I give you a shout out in the song. How you doing? Beautiful vibe. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. Thank you. It's been a good show, Darren. We had a good crowd listening to that. The politics doesn't seem so stupid now when everyone thinks that we're all in this together.
That's right.
Which we are. I'm not picking solutions or anything like that. I'm just telling you what you're up against, what we are up against, and it ain't funny. It don't matter where you are either. Everybody's affected by this. When I said a few months ago that Russia's not the problem, it's China. People thought, "Oh, you're a moron, you moron." Guess what? It's China. It's not only. I mean, America is causing. The administration is causing problems, and they're choosing sides with China, and that's it's an issue. It's an issue because of the way they got this to where they are, the way China got here. Thank you, Scotty B. There are some nefarious things going on, and we need to be aware of it. And I think a lot of people are. Sexy Mama, thank you so much. Thank you too, guys. Let's see. What's next on the list automatically? Yeah, we'll do this one next. If Darren doesn't want to sing, I'll do it next. I guess we decided to sing, Darren.
Anybody can sing. Even
Sexy
Shadow
Mama
can
is
sing.
back. Shadow can sing. It's not the right time. He can't raise his voice.
Back.
Shadow is stuck between a rock and a hard place. Gotta kill that reverb.
He goes into
Cut
the
the
Swedish
reverb.
countryside. He sings,
I get it.
Ricola! That's from Simpsons.
Oh, check this out.
And then he'll
Ricola!
premiere it. I gotta sing. See, I
And
told you.
I think it's going to be a long, long time. All right, Darren, if you let me do this one. I'm ready. I'm ready. If you're ready, start the music. That's all I got to say. If you got this far up on the panel, guys, and you're ready, just start the music. Ricola! I do have a slight cough, guys, and a runny nose. Let's see if I can keep singing. One of the mistakes I make is having the cap on tight to this water when I'm starting to sing, because most songs have a break. This one doesn't. Oh yes, it does, but it's too long to before the break. I gotta have that water ready, because I have a cold. J Mike has canceled the show, guys. He's got a cold. Oh, good afternoon, Len Whistler in the building, Darren. Yeah,
Now that's fun. That is fun, Jay.
thanks, Darren.
That is. Oh, and Len Whistler's in the house. Hi, Len.
Yeah,
Good
hey,
to see
Len.
you. I met Len in Vancouver,
My
and I
good
met Jet
friend
Logs
Dara
in
Lewis here
Vancouver.
too. Dara is in the building. Yes, we saw that video, one or two videos with Len. Those are good. Dude, oh,
Yeah, hi, Dara Lou. Dara Lou just commented your post video you
now,
actually
of
released for
all the,
post.
I brought like maybe 6 or 7
Hi,
Filipinos
Ruben.
to the ice skating rink. Of all the Filipinos that came to the rink with me, Dara was the best on the ice skating. You did great, Dara.
Yay!
You know, when you fall, it takes a lot out of you. You got to kind of slow down and hang on to the dasher after that until you get your wind back. I know that. Um, but you were great. You did great. And she caught the bouquet too. So, guys, who's going to be the lucky guy?
Oh,
It's funny how they all let her stand in the middle, this one step forward, and she threw it. Norman threw it right to her. Up, sweet. No trouble at all. No trouble at all. No trouble. No trouble.
that's awesome. That's great.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But we did that twice. We did one in the church too, and it's funny who caught it at the church too. That's so funny.
Oh, she got it at the church too.
No, no, no. Somebody else.
Hey,
It was
it's meant
somebody
to
else.
be Darylou. Oh, someone else.
We did
I
like
thought it was meant to be.
Dara did the
Shot
reenactment.
Tuber.
Don't tell anybody. I haven't. I was gonna do a video, but I didn't do the video yet. I don't know why. I forgot about other things were happening. Maybe I should get back to that footage. It's way back in time though. Now it's a couple months. That's okay. It won't be about us. It'll be about just wedding stuff in general. All right, Darren. Oh, we got your parody song is next on the
Wow, on the list, the master list.
on the auto list, the auto mix list. Yeah, you want to do one?
Sure.
My sinuses and my stomach are going crazy right now.
That
I almost coughed on that song. Ruby is here. Ruby La Chica Vlogs. Mega Love shout out. I'll pop you up right there. In the building, Darren. Check it out.
that's hot.
You got Len Whistler hanging out. Thanks for coming in, Len. Scotty
Yeah.
Beach, beautiful vibes. There's Darylou right there. Dara, what kind of an avatar? Oh, you're sitting down. Looks like you're sitting on an invisible curb or bench or something. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Are we ready? Ready,
We
Jay,
get
for my
stories.
song?
We get stories about Darylou, but I won't embarrass you on today's live stream, Dara. Don't worry. If we had YouTube back in the day, I would have got the electric chair. I would have killed myself. I would have committed suicide.
No, never. Can't do that.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I embarrassed myself when I was like in my 20s. That was terrible. That's okay though. I remember we were in someone's basement, but it was a pretty clean, comfortable place. It looked like a living room, right? And we were opening beer cans, and then we were going. No, we weren't opening beer can. We were punching a hole in the bottom of the beer can to see who could shoot the whole can, and then you hold the hole up to your mouth, and then you tip the beer like this, and then you open the flip top can, and the beer shoots right into your mouth. So I drank the first one all the way down real quick, and I'm like, "See, I'm the first one to do it. You guys are gonna lose." And then I burped, and all the beer came out, and I went like this, and it all was in my hand. They're like, "I need a bucket," and I'm like this, right? And they were laughing at me, right? I went, "Okay, now you need a bucket." And I dumped it on the floor because they were laughing at me. I said, "I told you I needed a bucket. Now you need the bucket." Sucks to be you. Let that be a lesson to you. And then he goes, "I should kick your ass." And I went, "Yeah, but you didn't. And you won't. Because you don't want that. You don't want the trouble." Right, Sean Tuber? You don't want the trouble to start punching people. Everyone thinks they're tough until they get into trouble. You don't want, I used to let my mouth do my fighting. You don't want to fight me.
Do it.
Why don't I want to fight you? Because I don't want to fight.
Usually
I don't
not
want to
good.
fight. You don't
I
want
breathe too easy.
you don't want to fight me. Why not? Because I don't feel like fighting. Oh, I have funny stories. I didn't have to fight that. I did have to fight once in a while, but I didn't like it. I didn't like to fight because I didn't want to have to kill somebody. But I wasn't like that. I didn't ever kill anybody. I didn't want to be the guy that was going to kill every killed. Because that's the mentality. Why are you going to get in a fight with somebody? You're angry. You're away from home. You're in the streets and you're in a fight. Really? That means you have to hurt somebody or lose or be killed. And I didn't want that.
Yeah.
But it happens. It does. It happens once in a while. You can't do that at my age, though. You're gonna be. That's why you're gonna be kind. Kindness will
Always
save you.
kind.
Kindness, right, Sean Derber? You're gonna be. No, I'm just kidding, guys. I'm talking about like 18, 19, 20, maybe 26. Yeah, it's dangerous. Niners win. The Niners win. Darren, do you know where the San Francisco 49ers got that name?
No idea.
18, not 1949. In 1849, there was a gold rush to California, and most of the gold was in San Francisco. That's why they call it the Golden Gate Bridge. It's not because
Ah,
it's painted gold. It's more of a rustic red color.
true.
That's the reason California is the Golden State. Not because
Cool.
golden flowers are not the state flower. I don't think it's marigolds, and it's not. It's definitely not the sunflower. Right. So Niners win. Yeah, but the Niners have a weakness. They're a good team. They were really exciting like 2 years ago, and it didn't happen. They lost to Kansas City. When you take the lead late in the Super Bowl, and you lose, that means your defense sucks.
Yeah. True.
Even though they had talented defense, everyone thought their defense was great, but they made mistakes. Now in football, your greatest defense is a good offense. That sucked
True.
too. So they had that going against them. Now they didn't. It wasn't a sucky offense and defense, but in the Super Bowl, um, it showed up a little bit. They were doing well, but it doesn't take much to lose the Super Bowl, and that's all it took.
Mm.
You know. Just so you know where this comes from, Darren, when I do that at the end of a song,
End of the song.
that is the
Full
Randy
ball.
Moss signature. When he scores a touchdown, he does this. It's Superman ripping open the Clark Kent shirt, and you see the big red S, right? The yellow S.
Oh.
That's what that is. And that's what Randy Moss did when he scored a touchdown in his only Super Bowl. I don't think he played in the other one with San Francisco. Sean Tuber, let me know if Randy Moss played in the Super Bowl that San Francisco lost against Kansas City. Let me know. I don't think no, he wasn't. No, the one before that against the Ravens. I
Yeah.
don't think because he would have lost that one too. So, and I don't think he scored. So he scored a touchdown after the 2-minute warning, which should win the Super Bowl because great defenses get in the Super Bowl. But it didn't happen. But he did that, and that's where that comes from.
Oh, okay.
That should have won the Super Bowl. He should have been. He should have been the Super Bowl MVP. But they would have given it to Brady because Brady threw the pass. But it all slips away when other things happen after that. That's why you can't. It's why you can't go to bed at halftime or whatever in third quarter. You can't miss the Super Bowl because all the stops get taken out in the Super Bowl. I almost went to bed because Atlanta was kicking butt, and it was like third quarter. It wasn't even early in the third quarter. I said, "Well, I got to get up early for work tomorrow. I think I'll like just go to sleep and screw this." And I went, "No, wait a minute. This is the Super Bowl. There's no tomorrow, and this is New England. No, here's why I stayed up because New England's coaches were doing this. Here's my pen. So New England's coaches they were losing 25-3, and the coaches were doing this.
Yep. There's a reason why.
Now, on the other side, they're all hugging and high fiving and taking their helmets off, and I've seen it before, over and over again. And sometimes when a team's losing and they start doing this, and they're yelling at each other, or shaking their heads and whatever they're doing, or they're just doing this. That didn't happen, and I went, I'm going to watch this because this looks interesting to me. They're not panicking, and they know
Now until the
that.
game's over, he's working out how do we get the next touchdown? How do
Well,
we get the next-
they knew they were the type of people that knew what they had to do. and they knew they should have been winning. And sure enough, they won it. They won it in overtime. They tied it up, and then they won it.
Yeah.
But it was all methodical, like nothing was going wrong. Everything just started working, like little by little. It wasn't like a 100-yard run or anything like that. It was just little bits and pieces, and it all came together. It was weird. And then when they showed they were four people mic'd hot wire, and two of them were Patriots and two of them were Seahawks. Not Seahawks, Atlanta. And you could see one of the Patriots was Julian Edelman, and you could see him in the huddle going to the fat guys, the blockers. It's like, I love you guys. We can do this. We can do this. Don't. And Brady was like, don't give up, guys. Keep going. Keep going. Just, I love you. We can do this. Don't give up, guys. Um,
That's it. It's how you instill the
it was
in,
all positive, and the other side was
players.
they were positive too. It was unbelievable. Um, and then Coach Carroll, Pete Carroll, he was mic'd up, and when that interception happened with 20 seconds left, Pete Carroll was like, he goes, I think we can do this, and then he looked up and went, oh no. They showed Michael Irvin going, you can't beat the Patriots just by running the football. And then they were running the football and getting chunks. And then we heard people saying, they're going to win it by running. And then Michael Irvin, he had said that earlier, but they kind of stuck that in there. You can't beat the Patriots just by running the football. And then they decided to throw it, and there was an interception.
Wow.
And the rest, as they say, is history. The hardest part of the game, the toughest part of the fight, was after the interception because they had the ball on the 1 inch line, the 1 yard. It wasn't even on the 1 yard line. It was inside the one, right on the goal line. New England Patriots had to keep it out of the end zone. That was not easy to do against the Legion of Dome. That was very tough sledding right there, Sean Tuber. Brady had to gain yardage on a keeper, and he's no sissy, my friends. Brian Urlacher and Ray Lewis will tell you that.
Wow.
It's the mid-season. You're not celebrating a playoff spot or a Super Bowl victory. What the hell are you celebrating for? It should just be good, 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 good.
Yeah.
See, that's why fans get upset. It's because they celebrate on week 10, right? And there's 17 weeks, 18, 19, 20. If you go all the way, there's 20 weeks. So Super Bowl is week 20. So there's week 21 because there's a bye week. Everyone gets a bye week as well. So the Super Bowl between the Ravens and the 49ers, the Ravens won it by they had the ball and they let themselves get called for penalties on every play, and they won the Super Bowl. Because it was starting to happen, and I went, wait a minute, they're just going to take offensive line penalties, and the game's going to be over. Because it was first down, they were backed up like really close. They had a long way to go. You can't get tackled in the end zone because the other team will score and get the ball back. They would have lost. So they had to stay out of the end zone. But what they did was they took penalties on every play, and then it's only half the distance to the goal is the penalty inside the 15. So there was like inside the 5, and there was like 3 consecutive penalties, half the distance to the goal. So it didn't hurt them, but it lets them keep the ball because you don't lose it down on a penalty, right? And but it runs off the clock. When your penalty stops the clock, but then when you run the play, the clock starts up again. But you get the down over on it. So there's 3 straight penalties and it's still first down. So I thought, oh, wait a minute. They're going to win the Super Bowl by doing that. And what they had to do.
Amazing last 5 minutes.
So they needed one running play, not to fall back in the end zone, but to stay. So the quarterback took a knee to keep the clock running, and San Francisco ran out of timeouts. And then when
Mhm.
they had to snap the ball one more time. There was like 1 or 2 seconds left. They snapped the ball and they did run back into the end zone, but I think they had a 4 point lead,
Oh,
and then so they he ran back in the end zone and waited for the clock to hit zero, and then took a knee and it was all over because it's 2 points.
that's right.
The
Strategy.
play has to finish. The clock doesn't run out when the play is running, so it's 2 points for San Francisco, but time is out. Time is up. Time is run out, so they
Yeah.
couldn't. So I think they punted. They had to punt because the play's not over because it's a safety. The play cannot end on a safety. I don't think the game can't end. So San Francisco had to punt with zero on the clock, I think, and I mean, Baltimore had to punt, but all they had to do was tackle San Francisco without scoring. And if San Francisco scored on the punt, they would have had a return, then they would have won the Super Bowl. So Baltimore just had to make a tackle to win the Super Bowl. The same thing happened with New England against Carolina. There was 4 seconds left, and New England had to kick off. They had to kick it inbounds and make a tackle to win the Super Bowl. So all 10, no, not all 10, all the last 9 Super Bowls that New England was in were very close. All, all with less than 7 points difference for each Super Bowl. All 9 of them were decided by less than a touchdown. Now, people say, well, that sucks. That's not very good. Well, if you were to be told, if you were given, Sean Tubman, if you were given a choice, San Francisco can win 6 out of the next 20 Super Bowls, make an appearance in 9 of them, but they only win and lose by like no more than 4 points each, all 9. Would you take it or leave it?
Take
If
it.
it was up to you, take it or leave it. Okay, no Super Bowls. Which one do you want?
Yeah.
If
It's actually good when they're close because it makes them more exciting.
the people who never have their team in the Super Bowl, let's go back to the 80s. Buffalo Bills were never in the Super Bowl. They had a fantastic team, never got in the Super Bowl. Um, Seeing them from week to week, it's like, I love watching this team play. So in 1989-90, they get in the Super Bowl. If you were to be told, okay, they go to 4 straight, but they don't win any, take it or leave it, would you want that? Or would you want them never to get to the Super Bowl?
Correct.
They got to 4 straight, never won one. That'll never be done again, happen again, I don't think.
Yeah.
Never won a Super Bowl. They're the only one that have been there 4 straight times. Even the Patriots were only there 3 out of 4, and they won all 3. I'd take that over 4 straight losses. I'll take winning 3 out of 4,
There you
but
go.
not getting to the fourth one that they didn't win. They didn't get there. But they did lose the next one they appeared in. But they only lost by 3 or 4 points. The Niners are in the win column. Yeah, the Niners are one of those teams that it could go either way for them, um, because they haven't been able to get a durable quarterback. So I don't even know who it is now. Who's the Scott? Ivan Scott. Sean. Who was the Niners quarterback yesterday? Who played? Which quarterback played? The 69ers. That's not nice. The 49ers was because of the gold rush of 1849. Yeah, Scotty. Which team is yours? Are you the Niners too, Scotty V? See, the Dolphins started off very hot. That doesn't mean they're better than some teams that didn't start off hot. They may or may not finish with a better record than New England. People keep saying they will because everyone keeps wishing that somebody else could have a better record than the Patriots. Um, it's still the pieces are in place for the Patriots to have a good season. Nobody thinks that will happen, but they never win because they didn't always have the Tom Brady wasn't always considered the greatest quarterback. For a long time, there was other guys that were better than him, according to popular opinion, until he put it all together after like year seven is when. I mean, he was always good, but it was the talk was always that, oh, other guys are better, my guy's better, and so is that new guy Aaron Rodgers, and Brett Favre was still playing that. When Rodgers came in the league, Brett Favre was the starter ahead of him. But they thought, oh yeah, the Packers, they get a better quarterback. Both their quarterbacks are better than Brady.
Yeah.
They couldn't say that about Rodgers at the time because Brady's team was 18-0, and then they lost game 19. You know why? They were beat down. When you go that deep every year, when you're in the Super Bowl every year, your players have shorter careers because those are the hardest fought games. The Super Bowl, the championship game, and the one or two playoff games, those are the hardest fought games of the year. I guarantee it. So teams that keep getting to the Super Bowl, they get beat down. It's even harder for them to. That's why it's hard to continue. It's hard to get back over and over. Teams that get back, they're the great teams. That's why they pick players that everyone else thinks they don't know how to pick players. They pick players that can block and tackle for those reasons, because there's too much wear and tear. That's why they don't take a star running back. They need a committee because their best running back is out. He's out, and then their backup is great. Not because they picked a great backup, they picked a capable guy that was a little durable. You need durable guys, or else it's over. If you have this fastest guy in the world and he's not durable, if he does all the work, he's going to wear out. That's why running backs don't win Super Bowls. That's the reason.
Mm.
Running backs don't win Super Bowls. They
Part of the
is it
team, though.
Todd Gurley of the Rams. The Rams finally won the Super Bowl, but they no longer had Todd Gurley, who 2 years prior was considered the best running back. But then Barkley and a couple of other guys, they traded him away, or they let him go because he was beat up a little bit. Running game, yeah. San Francisco always has a good running game. You have to have the best. The way to have a good running game is to be able to throw the ball.
Oh,
When
yeah.
they're off, when they don't know what you're going to do, that makes it all the harder to defend when they don't know what you're doing.
That's true. He keeps guessing. Keep him guessing. That's where you need a good defense as well, because you're running the ball. Good defense will give you
In
the extra
football,
second.
a good running game is is almost as good as a good defense. It helps the defense because it keeps the clock moving, shortens the game, and it keeps the other team from scoring. Because what happens is most teams, if they pass too much, they'll end up with an interception, or they won't run enough clock off. They won't run the clock off enough, and they'll leave too much time for the other team to have a chance. There's so many things that are going on. I miss football. I see a little bit, but I don't get to watch an entire game live. I don't think so. Maybe one of the primetime games I could see in the morning, but we're live in the morning, so I don't get to do that either. No, I don't think so. What, Sean? When you're answering questions, you got to respond to what the question was, because I don't know what you're answering.
70 thumbs up. Thank you so much.
I'm not seeing
Christina,
I'm not seeing
Christina.
live replies. Play in Mexico, and
71.
the Cardinals are not doing well. So, but is this funny things happen when they go to a different place? I'm not sure what's wrong with the Cardinals, but they were pretty competitive the last couple of years. what happens is, what's his name? Oh, my mind just went blank on the Cardinals quarterback. Love the guy, but when it looks like they're not doing well, he bails them out with a great play. He extends a play, and then it works, and then they get in good shape. He straightens them. He gives them life. Um,
Absolutely.
Young was good, but not great. You talk about Steve Young. Steve Young's a Hall of Famer. Steve Young he was good. He was really good. Steve Young was a football player. He was almost like a third or fourth running back. The full body of work. If you watch, there's a 1 hour video of the greatest of Tom Brady. It's it's unbelievable what the high stakes games that he was great in. It's a um, he has the best visiting team record all time in the RCA Dome against Peyton Manning. He is the quarterback with the winningest record against the Colts while Peyton Manning was their quarterback. It's unbelievable. They almost never. I think they only lost to Indianapolis once in many
Wow.
years, in more than a decade. It's unbelievable. But they're all great games. There was one blowout that the Patriots beat them. That was the surprise. That was a shocker. It was like 44-10. I think it was crazy. That was in the beginning, the early days. But Peyton was great against everybody else. The thing is that New England figured out a way to keep him a little bit off of what he liked to do, and that's how you do it. And they also I mean they had good players too. Belichick will always say that coaches don't win games, players win games. But there's this argument that Brady's the reason they won Super Bowls. No, he made the difference. Belichick said 100 times, "I would rather not have any other quarterback." They had
Wow.
a chance to get rid of him all along. Everybody else had a chance to get him, and they didn't do it. So does that make Belichick stupid? Who do you think taught him to stop making mistakes?
Mm.
Like we don't teach quarterbacks how to be great. We teach them how to make the most positive play out of the situation. So you're being chased, you're turning around to run backwards. You have to know what needs to be done next. The first thing they taught Brady was, okay, you're on your own 1 yard line. No, the game against Seattle, that was nothing new. After the interception in the Super Bowl, there was 20 seconds left, and they didn't. The ball wasn't even on the half-yard line; it was on the 1 inch line. It was like if we screw up in the end zone, if there's a fumble on the snap, or if I can't get back to the line of scrimmage, I have no time to drop back and throw a complete pass. That's not going to happen. I have to. I have to. The quarterback has to keep it and go forward. There's no room to not go forward, or else it's a safety, and then they punt, and then Seattle gets another shot, another crack at it. Um, and obviously, when you get more chances, you get more success. The first thing they ever taught him before he played was, you got to get out of that situation. He knew exactly what to do in that situation. He was actually happy happy to have that problem. It was unbelievable. And then Parcells was from the same coaching tree, and it's curious that they had both coaches because the previous quarterback that Brady took his place was Drew Bledsoe, and that's the first thing they did with him in training camp was, you're on the 1 yard line, now smash it in. You're on your own 1 yard line, now get out of trouble. You're not passing and you're not handing off, you're doing it yourself. They made him do that until they knocked his helmet off. And by the end of the day, you are going to know what to do in this. You're going to be the one to handle this situation. These 6'5" kids coming out of college, they have no idea how tough. It's like Scared Straight. They have no idea how tough the NFL is. Even at the college level, when they're in a major bowl game, I forget what bowl it was. Like the Cotton, I think Brady was in the Cotton Bowl or the Orange Bowl. I forget which one it was. They have no idea how tough the NFL is. It's like Scared Straight when the high school punk goes to prison for a lesson, and they have him meet two prisoners. The smallest one is 6'5", and this punk is like 6 feet, 6'1". And that's big for a kid. He's about 17, I think, maybe. And the other guy was 6'7", and all they did talked about was raping him. And do you think we're not gonna you think you're not gonna let us do that, Mary?
Yeah.
His name is like Chucky or something like that. And they said, do you think we're not gonna like nail you, Mary? I thought they were gonna kill him right on the movie. It was a real life movie. It was a documentary made in real
Scared them
life.
straight.
The prisoners did not agree to leave him alone, but there were guards. The guards were not like
Too far.
they weren't cuffed or anything. The guards were there, but they weren't holding on to them. They
Yeah.
wanted it to be a little bit. And the inmates were lifers. They didn't care.
Yeah. Exactly.
That was a scary situation.
But anyways, Jay, it is my midnight, so I have to get ready for work tomorrow. So I will step down.
All right.
I'll be in the BG though. I'll be in the BG.
Let me finish with what we. Okay, Darren. Thanks, Darren. As always,
Okay,
Darren
Darren.
Dobson. As Dobson.
Always nice to
As
see
always,
everybody.
Dobson.
I'll be live tomorrow.
Yeah,
See
we're
you
live again tomorrow,
Darren.
guys. We are live tomorrow, same time. Darren Dobson channel. Darren, do you watch Canadian football? Well, isn't Canadian football full of American players mostly? I don't think there's very many Canadians in
Yeah,
pro football at
it's
all.
50%.
I'm sure there's a small number,
50%
but I don't think
American.
50. Oh, I thought pro football was like mostly from the United States. The 2011, yeah, I saw that happening, Sean Tuber. When the Ravens took a penalty, right? It stops the clock, but it keeps the down. And I thought they're not going to run out of downs if they keep doing this. They could keep doing this and win the Super Bowl. And I thought, let's see if they do it. And they did. And I thought I was right. I kind of knew it. I mean, I wasn't sure, but I thought they can't lose this Super Bowl. That's what you do. That's what it takes. That's why everyone thought John Harbaugh was a great coach. Um, but then a couple of years later, they blew it against the Patriots. They had a 14-0 lead and they lost. Because New England doesn't panic. New England they made a lineman, they made the left tackle eligible, and they made a running back, a halfback, ineligible. But they didn't put him at left tackle. That's what confused the heck out of the Ravens because they wanted a matchup and they got it. And it was a complete. I think they completed it to the tight end Rob Gronkowski. I kind of forget if that's the play, but it was just weird. They found a mismatch and it worked because they had to be quick. Like don't let them fix their situation. Don't let them get into position because when they saw the formation, they didn't know what to do, and the play was strike it immediately, like quick hit, boom, boom, hot, boom, throw. High throw. There was like one step back and then complete pass and it got them out of trouble and that changed the game. But it takes more than that. You're down 14. It takes more than one play. But it was just stuff like that they were doing. They just did that. That's what they practice. And then they made a rule that that's illegal. You have to have the 5-man formation in order. Like they're turning it into flag football. But those were never breaking the rules. That was totally within the rules. Those are the kind of things you do on punt plays and things like that. To create a field position advantage. That happens on punts and kickoffs all the time. Who's the quarterback? I missed who the quarterback is. Did you see that? Oh, Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy G. Oh, okay. Oh, he's back in there. Oh, okay. So I thought he got back because of an injury, and then I thought he got hurt again. That's why I didn't think he was in there. Yeah, everyone that's a football fan has a lot to worry about because the odds-on favorite is like the number against you is bigger than your number. So the best odds I think is like 4-1 or 3-1. That means three teams are against you. That's that you're the favorite because nobody else has better odds. Yeah, I don't have a Canadian team. Canadian team. I know a guy that was on my softball team. He played Canadian football, and he played for the New England Patriots. He was drafted. I don't remember where they drafted him. He wasn't a top draft pick, but he was a running back, and he had a college injury, and he couldn't get through the preseason. Um, he was on IR. Played on my softball team for a summer, and he re-injured the hamstring playing softball. A powerful guy though. He had a few home runs. My height, but hit the ball harder than I did. I could get base hits and high batting average, but he belted a few long balls. Um, powerful young dude. He's a couple years younger than me, not much. Um, Paul Lewis was his name. He holds every BU Boston University running back record. And his backup running back was on my softball team too. Uh, he was power. He had power too, but he wasn't that tall either. He was actually a little bit smaller. Um, he went to the Canadian Football League. He went to Seattle the next year. Paul did, and he still had the same injury. He couldn't get rid of the injury, and they put him on season-ending IR. And then the year after that, he went to the Canadian Football League, and then I didn't hear from him anymore. I didn't know what happened. I don't I don't know if he had any success. I'm not sure. He was talking about the reason I knew is because he talked about it. I'm going to go to Canadian Football League and see what happens up there. So I didn't hear anything. Yeah, it's more of a speed game. Yeah, I know I'm behind in the chat because you guys are chatting a lot. That's why I can't hit on every chat. I'm trying to, but I can't. I can't stop and hit on every chat. So Sean Williams is a front runner. I always admired the 49ers for the and the Cowboys over the years because of that. But it wasn't. They weren't my number one teams. The, for that reason, I lived in Kansas City for a while. The Chiefs weren't great. They had Derek Thomas, but that year he got injured in a car accident. The year I was there in winter before the season, I think it was '99 or 2000. He became paralyzed and he couldn't play anymore, and he ended up dying in paralysis. He had a heart attack. That happens to some people that get paralyzed. Um, so they weren't as good anymore. They were never as good, and Elvis Grbac wasn't a good enough quarterback. He was a good backup, but he was their starter. He was like Brian Hoyer on the Patriots. Hoyer started for the Cleveland Browns, and they had a pretty good team, but Hoyer was not a good quarterback. They couldn't win games. He, he, he couldn't get them, even when they had good field position after a kick, he couldn't get them into field goal range and win a close game. So he just didn't have it. He couldn't play under pressure. I guess he couldn't think quick or he got nervous. I'm not sure what it was, but they said he practiced great. So that happens to some guys. Um, but even in the rough years when the Patriots weren't winning, I was always rooting for them because I'm a New Englander. It's the only thing I like about New England. Everything else sucks. It's great. It's beautiful in spring and summer. And the winters are harsh in New England. They brag about the cold weather, and I always tell them, "You're lying. You're just saying that so everyone will think you're tough." But I loved ice skating. I learned to skate in New England. Um, what else? This is why I'm behind in the chat because I stop on one and then I talk about it. Brady wasn't even the best quarter. Well, because they had high hopes for Joe Henson. The reason Brady wasn't the number one quarterback is because they had high hopes for Joe Henson. They knew pretty early that he was a smart quarterback and could play the game and win games because they used to bring him in at halftime because they knew he was good. They didn't want him to miss the whole game. They wanted him to play, so they would be behind by a few points, maybe 7 points, 10 points, 6 point, 3 point, whatever, and then he would bring them back to win. They won a lot of games that way. Henson would start. They wouldn't necessarily always have a lead at halftime, and then Brady would come in. And they won a lot of games that way. And then it occurred to the head coach, I forget the coach's name, it occurred to him that Brady was the guy. And then New England thought, oh, what's the problem with Brady? Because he's not the starter. But because he didn't know the story. So they don't know, when they're in the late draft, the late rounds, they don't always know because he wasn't projected to be a first rounder. So they find out the story. That's why it's a surprise when top picks don't work out. I mean, that they don't, it doesn't go well for them because everyone's trying to find out who they really are, what kind of a person they are. You need to find out quickly if they have a real work ethic or not, and if they're honest in the community. So you should find those things out. That's called due diligence. But they didn't do as much for the later because Brady wasn't projected to be an early pick. So by anybody, by any stretch, there were I don't know if there were 4 or 5 other quarterbacks ahead of him, and he said that they shouldn't have been ahead of me, but they for some whatever reason they were because they had hype. Hype will get you picked in the draft. That's what happened in 2017 in the NBA with I can't even remember the second pick, but the first pick was the Lakers had the guy with the father and the 3 brothers. I forgot his name too. Um, Bell, um, Lonzo Bell, or something like that. Um, Everyone knew the Lakers wanted him because his father wanted him to go to the Lakers. It was a big deal. And then I forget who the other player was, and then there was Jason Tatum. So Bell was expected to go first. The Celtics had the first pick, and they knew that they could get away with trading it to Los Angeles. I forget what else they got in return, but they picked Bell, and then Philly had the second pick, and Celtics drafted third, and they got Jason Tatum, who turned out to be the best player. And I thought they should keep the first pick and take Tatum, but they traded it, and they used the third pick to take Tatum. So I didn't understand that because they knew what the other 2 teams wanted. They went because of the cities wanted those guys. I can't remember the name of the second guy. I would remember if I heard his name, but let me look at the chat and see what happened. See what you guys are saying. Good night, Scotty. See ya. Cusina Mercy TV. Um, yeah. You forget the names of people that don't work out. You forget their names. I think he's still in the league. I don't know where he is, but it's hard to see all the games here. I don't get to see all the games in the Philippines. But that's okay. I'm glad I'm here. It's a waste of time to just watch sports all the time. Your life will be gone. Sean goes to bed when the donuts are getting delivered at 3 a.m. I don't think it's 3 a.m. over there. Time to make the donuts. I'm sure that's funny. So, I just heard a beep. Someone's messaging me. Everybody's messaging me. Uh-oh. Hope they don't want money. What are you talking about? Who's that? Hold on, guys. All right. These messages will have to wait. They never stop. I don't know why I stopped for them. Everybody's saying goodnight, or some people are. I don't know. We've been live for a little while. Shadow, it's
Yeah.
still like it's still pre-dawn over there in Stockholm. Shadow has to be quiet. I don't know why he's not
Well, it's
talking.
6:15.
Oh, yeah. You could probably talk by now. How paper thin are the walls? Maybe redo the walls with that acoustic material. Good night, Scotty B. Luke the Great's here. Anyway, what's up, Luke? Luke is a wise guy. You're always picking on all the younger guys, Luke. Luke drives those big yellow machinery shovel trucks, and he's picking on the guys that drive the small cars. So funny. Don't don't bring a Honda Civic to an Earth Mover fight. Can you imagine that? Getting into a vehicle fight and you got a Honda Civic and the other guy has a big yellow shovel. You know, the dozer. Pick up three of those Honda Civics in one scoop.
Yep.
Throw you off the cliff. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. See ya. I don't know. Henson didn't make it in baseball either. It didn't turn out. It's so hard to make it in baseball, guys. Um, the the Veritek twins, Jason. I forget the other name of the other Veritek because he didn't make it. But they were both star players on Georgia Tech. They won the College World Series, and everyone thought they were both going to be major leaguers. It was like Ken Griffey Sr. and Ken Griffey Jr., only they were twin brothers. And but I don't know why I can't remember his brother's name. But Jason Veritek made it. He won some. He's got. I think he had two rings, two World Series rings. He caught 5 no hitters. He was a star catcher for the Boston Red Sox. He got drafted by Seattle, and they traded him to Boston. And then he had a great career with the Red Sox. And they asked him, "What happened to your brother? Why didn't he make it?" And Jason's quick answer was, he wasn't dedicated enough at practice. He didn't spend all his time practicing. I I played baseball in my sleep. Winter every day of the year I was doing something baseball, and he wasn't dedicated. He had too many other interests, and that's the difference. Christina Merci, Christina Merci, how are you doing? I'm just trying to see who just came in. Mega love shout out. Thank you. Yep, guys, connect with each other. That's always a good idea. What happened? My screen just went black. Uh, I don't know if you guys can still see me. Can I? My screen went black, and I'm not sure why, guys. Hold on. Shadow, give me a thumbs up if you can still hear me. I'm watching on a delay. I can't tell. Say something.
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, okay. So, because my monitor went black, and I forget why that happened to me before, and I forgot why. So, it's still on the monitor on the side there. That's why my head's turned. I can't remember why that happened the last time. Let's see. and see if I can get back on StreamYard over here, and then do a quick reboot. Should be okay. Here I am. I'm here. I don't. Oh, I don't know what to do over there. uh,
You're muted. No audio, Jay. No audio. Okay, Jay, no problem.
all right, here I am. 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 That is weird. Now it's funny how
Now we can hear you.
it's funny how the audio picked up and fed back like that when
Yeah.
it wasn't giving me any sound pickup, but when I came on here, it was picking up everywhere. Weird. I have a cold, guys. I gotta keep the tissue on my upper lip. It's terrible. Runny noses are the worst.
Yeah.
Don't
I know
ask
the
me
feeling.
how that happened. Don't ask me how that happened. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. My screen went black, but I still had my audio, but I couldn't. And then when I went on over there, I could see myself, but it's different. It's hard to do the show because there's a delay. It's just weird. What are we gonna do now? Sean Williams, thanks for hanging out. And beautiful vibe, dynamic. Thank you. And Cusina Mercy TV. Oh, awesome to see you guys. Let me see something. We should all have jackets. Yep. Scott. Oh, sorry, Scotty B. He didn't have a blue jacket. I thought he was here before. Because I don't remove jackets. I never remove jackets. Okay, so we're back. I'll fix that banner. Thanks for watching. Drums, please. 71 thumbs up. We're gonna go down with just over 70.
Yeah, we have 71.
I don't know how long we can go. Because I have this bad cold and like my head's like beat down. It's almost 1:30 in there. I still see the sun. I hope it's still out there in a minute when I go out there. I'm gonna say goodbye, Shadow. Thank you guys for hanging out. You guys are great.
Yeah.
We have loyal friends that stop in and keep us in the BG. Thank you guys. Thank you to Scotty B Show and Sean Williams and Beautiful Vibe Dynamic, Christina Mercy TV. Thank you guys for hanging out, and a few others too. Luke the Great, Anpanai Vlog 14. I think I said Scotty B, Sexy Mamala. Thank you guys for hanging out. Shadow, Darren Dobson, and I'm J Mike, guys. Sean Tuber, thanks for hanging out and talking sports, Sean. Always good to see you, Sean. And Sean Williams. Bye, guys. I'm going to say goodbye, Shadow. Thanks for hanging out, Shadow. See you all
You're
later.
very welcome.
See you tomorrow
later.
with Darren Dobson tomorrow, guys. See ya. Bye-bye.
And get well, buddy.
Yep, I'll be fine.
Yeah.